We're gonna get it.
We're gonna get into it. We're going for it.
We're going for it.
Going for it.
Little do you know, my friend, that it is available on Xbox Game Pass for free. I definitely have not said that.
Maybe.
I definitely haven't said that a bunch of times already. Hold on. We're not gonna go with fancy schmancy different scenes here. We're just gonna do some good old fashioned kick back, watch some Starcraft. I'm probably never gonna be able to figure out this stream overlay.
I love watching some Starcraft. Stream overlays?
Stream overlays are for chuds.
No good. No good.
This is really, really important to me. And yet, it will not happen. So we're just going to get right into this game as I tab out to try and make it happen again.
What are we trying to make happen again?
I want the scoreboard to actually update.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I can't even see that. Good news, though. We do have... Oh, can I do the intros?
Yeah.
All right. In the top left, in the yellow, our Protoss player, Wizzer. And in the bottom right, in the pink, our Zerg player, Skler. So for our viewer, just decided that this is going to be a biased cast. Usually the casters are like, we should try to, be unbiased and do different stuff, and yeah.
That's not how this cast is going to go.
That's not how this cast is going to go. It's not how we're doing it. We're just gonna... So, I already want this... I don't know who wins, and I like Wizzer, actually. Wizzer's is a cool guy. But I just want this Zerg to win, because I play Zerg, and whenever I see a game that has a Zerg in it, I want the Zerg to win. That's why ZVZ's my favorite matchup, because I always win.
Have you seen, however, that this Zerg is the kind of Zerg that goes for an Overlord before pool? Because I've seen it, and that doesn't seem like your philosophy.
Hey now. No spoilers. Don't go spoiling the game.
For those not in the loop, she is in this group of
I am
preseason
in this
games.
group. I'm casting my own games. I'm waiting for Esk to finish one day, and when that happens, I'm gonna explain to people that CPL needs some heals. Okay, it's all too nice. We need some
villains. We need some
some rudeness.
arcs.
We need some rudeness. Some villains. Some bad manners. Just some real chudly attitudes, and I'm here to provide that today by casting my own games. I'm gonna cast my own games, and I'm not even gonna pretend to be unbiased. I'm just gonna be rooting for me in games where I already know the outcome. Because I played them last week. Anyway, enough about me. The Skler building the cannon. Forge Fast Expand. LeaSt, you love the Forge Fast Expand. Do you think it's gonna be a 35-minute game?
I think.
Ignore the replay progress bar.
We've actually blocked off the replay progress bar already.
That rocks. I don't know how to get rid of it.
I just made a giant black box and put it right over the replay progress bar because...
No, I hear that. I'm saying in my screen though, because I'm not watching the stream. Which would be smart, right? To be like, oh, I should watch LeaSt's stream because then I'll know what he's looking at. But instead, I'm just looking at other stuff from you.
Okay. This is so unfortunate for Skler. Oh my god. If I was Wizzer, I swear to god I would rush Dragoon as fast as possible just to take out this stupid fucking Overlord.
Yeah. This is my least favorite thing ever, is when I forget my Overlord is there and then float it over a cannon right as the cannon finishes warping in. Actually, no, that's not true, because my least favorite thing ever is what's about to happen where the probe gets a rescout for free even though I have links out on the map.
Nope.
Oh, there's 4 links on the... Okay, so this is actually...
Fool.
This is actually a move that I need to copy, because I always put 2 lings on the ramp and think like, oh yeah, that's all the lings I need. 2 lings blocks a ramp. And then a probe just like walks in between the 2 of them, and they're like, right this way. And then I'm like, God damn it. So I should just do this. Just start putting 6 lings on the ramp. Be like, no, you can't, you can't come in here. This is closed. We're done. No. Protoss got a cybernetic score. Zerg got some hatcheries. We got one at the third. We got one at the net. Is this third a little late? I can't tell, honestly. It's fine.
We
Chilling.
got the 4th hatch at the net as well. So it looks like we're going
seems
for
like a
big Hydra mode here.
Yeah, as I say, it seems like probably not a Spire build. Don't have a gas yet. Usually you need to take that gas pretty quick so you can keep your timings in line with what the Protoss is doing. Yeah, just gonna throw down that 5th hatch, and I'm guessing gas will start soonish. Yep, there's 1. There's 2. Love this build. So
5 hatch,
comfy.
no gas.
So comfy. This is like, look, this build is like the grilled cheese that your mom makes you when you get home late from the airport.
That's so
right?
true, Queen.
It's like, is this a Michelin star dish? No. Is it what you need on a Friday night? Yes.
That's
right.
so true. That is just
Comfy.
top tier casting right there, honestly. If we're gonna be self-congratulatory about the games that you played, we will be self-congratulatory about the casting.
So yeah, this is great. You're just gonna make a bunch of drones, and then we make a Hydra den and make a bunch of Hydralisks. It's good because you get a nice big economy, and you get a nice big bunch of Hydralisks, and you don't have to worry about timings all that terribly much, because Hydralisk den builds really fast, and also, even if they kill an Overlord, like, who cares?
Yeah, you're just so rich, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you're just like, that's fine. Yeah, you can kill that. I got like 30 drones.
You know what's really bothering me that makes you significantly less rich?
Yeah, is the creep colony.
Paying money to kill your own
drone.
Or kill your own drone. The disrespect. However, it's okay because Wizzer made a Stargate like an absolute chump and is on the way to a 3rd Corsair against 5 hatch no gas.
Wow, yeah. Against an opponent that's probably never going to build a Spire in this entire game.
For the uninitiated here, you can say, wow, these flying units seem pretty overpowered. How is Zerg going to defend against them? The answer is, they don't shoot at anything.
Well, the Overlords.
They shoot at Overlords, but if you have a single Hydra...
Yeah. They just can't shoot the Hydras. They just fly over here and they just see Zerg just floating with the old 6 larva at every hatchery macro, which is fine. It's the best part of this build, honestly. You're just like, yeah, whatever. I got a lot of larva.
You know what?
Okay, we got some zealots coming in here. Yeah, that really butters my biscuits when zealots just march on down to your third base and kill all the drones. I do not appreciate that.
You hate
Protoss is everywhere. If you play me and you do this, I will be annoyed. So, you know, keep that in mind.
The classic 7:30 timing with no speed and 5 zealots and 3 Corsairs.
Zealots do have +1 though, which means this Protoss should be in a higher tier than you.
You're banned from the cast. I would appreciate it if you would get off the cast right now, actually. Okay, we're making a bunch of hydras, though.
We're making a spore colony. I also love this. Zerg's just like, you know what?
Fuck these Corsairs for real.
Yeah, just get out of here with that Corsair shit.
I unironically think that this Zerg is going to win the game if they just move all their hydras to the front right now.
Yeah, Protoss, we're not talking about Protoss a whole lot. Protoss is floating like 12,000 minerals.
12,000 minerals, doesn't have any cannons.
Yeah, no cannons,
no Templar tech,
High Templar, no gateways.
There's not even
Basically,
Templar tech.
Okay. We got to comment on the pro production. Chef kiss. Okay.
Chef's kiss. 830 with 45 probes.
Yeah, this pro production is literally S tier, but unfortunately we're not doing anything with that money. go.
Dude, where are all our Hydralisks? Let's go kill them.
Yeah, I really would like for Zerg to do that. Just make a lot of Hydralisks. Do we have ranged? Oh yeah, we got +1 missile attack on the way. Yeah,
Oh my
we're gonna have a
god.
timing.
We're
This is what
making drones. This is
this
so
is what
cringe.
players call a timing. Is when you get +1 attack and then you attack. You can tell it's time to attack because it's in the name of the upgrade.
Yeah, for the newbies in the cast here, when you have a +1 timing attack, that means you get +1, and then it's time to attack.
Then it's time to attack. Yeah. +1 timing attack.
That was one of the better lines that I think you've had in a minute, to be honest with you. Why are we making so many Corsairs? This is wild. We're making so many Corsairs, and yet we do not have Storm. And we're
Honestly,
taking a third, and yet we do not have Storm.
This is the gutsiest third I've ever seen in my entire
this is incredible.
life.
I get a bad feeling.
Sub 90 supply, no Storm. Just like, yeah, we can take this third.
YOLO.
No problem.
Thankfully,
the Zealot is a good unit.
Thankfully, Skler is not taking the greatest engage here.
Well,
But
I mean, he's taking an okay engage here because there's a whole control group of Zealots, but only 2 of them can attack at any given time, which makes them a lot worse.
That is true. And to be perfectly fair,
have no
oh
range.
my god, there's no ranged Dragoons. Dragoons with range still suck versus Hydralisks.
Yes,
Wizzer is gonna just hold this.
Is he?
I think Wizzer's just
Okay,
gonna
the
hold
supplies
this.
are even, but like 15 of that supply is Corsairs.
Hold on, Skler has the most insane, actual insane target fire I've ever seen in my life. These Dragoons are dropping like absolute flies.
Yeah,
there's one cannon.
Good. This one cannon, this is again just like the ballsiest cannon. Like you
This
see,
is
like your
cannon.
opponent, like when your opponent's doing this build, they basically just like put a sign up that's like, I'm only going to build Hydralisks, and you're like, how many cannons should I get? Like 1. I think one cannon will be good.
Oh, it's okay. We got a Dark Templar. We're fine.
Hype as fuck. Do we have Overlord speed?
We do have Overlords.
We have a
come in at the
lair.
perfect time.
Nice.
Perfect time. Rip to Skler, or rip to Wizzer rather.
Rip to Wizzer.
I don't know why I said rip to Skler. I think I just like his name better.
I'm gonna post this in Stromcord and just be like, come watch.
Yeah. I really need to figure out how the hell to...
Oh yeah, we still can't get the overlay working.
We still can't get the overlay working.
The overlay is rated, you know. It's rated. It's rated E for everyone.
Okay. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I should leave the replay so that I can join the next replay.
Assuming
Wizzer.
there will be another replay.
Whoa.
Because I won't get super hyped on trying to figure out what the hell to... What? And I say this? The fuck?
This is this game going on the other stream is the interestingest thing I've ever seen.
We should react stream.
Hold
on.
Can you do that?
Yeah, we can react stream to their stream.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Because
Twitch.tv.
there's vultures in the Protoss main, and there is a shield battery in the Terran main.
That's incredible.
And all of the probes are just hanging out in the middle of the map. This is based, actually.
We're gonna just window capture. Window. Twitch, Google Chrome. Yup.
Yo, I think Vint is actually fucked here because he can't mine. Because these vultures, so he can't maintain this bullshittery that's going on in the Terran main base.
This is really important that I get this up.
It is crucially important. Oh, you know what else is crucially important?
No,
Vince
I
does
got
not
it.
have enough money to make a Dragoon, which I think would really completely change the scene.
Okay. Super important ad
for a
break. We
future
gotta
pizza
get
emergency.
this taken care of.
Yeah.
Shout
Oh,
out to
snap,
Twitch.
Papa John's. Shout out to Domino's, who did not sponsor the Pizza Apocalypse.
Pizza provocation.
The Pizza Provocation, yeah. Shout out to Domino's, who did not sponsor us in any way, shape, or form. We reached out to ask if they were interested in sponsoring us, and their response was, "Who the fuck are you? Absolutely not." Damn. You know the vultures are sergeants? Dude, those guys, they've been around for a bit.
Can someone tell me?
Oh, this vulture's actually gonna go down.
Is the oh they hit pause? What the hell is happening here?
After the dirty
Okay.
fighting that they just did.
Yeah,
I
so
love
this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, so see this shield battery here? There was a forge. That building that's gone was a forge.
No shot, really?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
dead.
And you're like, what was that forge for? And it's like, I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
Could
I'm
not
not sure
tell
what the
you.
plan was there. I love it though.
Can we see this on the stream? Yeah, we can see it on the stream.
Basically, anytime that you are building buildings in your opponent's base, honestly, like one of the biggest L's that I took upon committing to the bugs is that we are the worst at building shit in other people's bases. We don't get to do that very much.
It's pretty
And
cringe.
it's pretty cringe. Terrans should be better at it, but Terrans are virgins. It's kind of wild that Protoss ends up being the ones who are good at it, because Protoss has to build a building to announce that they're going to build buildings in your base. Like they have to show up and like place a pylon and be like, I don't know, what's this for? I don't know. It could be for anything.
Damn.
But they are the ones who build bases. Well, I think Vint is fucked.
I think Vint is
Like, I think you just get Stim and end his existence. Like, can he tech to Reaver before that happens? I don't
Does
think
he
so.
understand that he needs to have a Reaver? Because I could have sworn I saw a Robo in his main.
There is a Robo making.
There is a Robo making.
There needs to be a robotics support bay, like, now.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends. Terran has to move out, too. Okay, well,
He's
there's
going
the
with
support
the-
bay.
He's going with the support bay is coming.
Terran's building a fire bat. We need like one of those like alarms that like sets off like a klaxon that's like fire bat built against Protoss.
You got to make sure that you can get both of those
that shit-
zealots.
Because that shit never fucking happens. Firebat against the Protoss. Protoss unfortunately built one of his only gateways in the middle of the fucking map. So that's gone.
That was honestly my favorite part of hopping in this game, is that he made one gate proxy, which is like not very committal, and then made two proxy pylons in the base with a shield
Stim
battery.
Stim is just because I was saying, like, without Stim, cannons kind of destroy bio, but with Stim, really good. Although the Reaver,
Oh my god, the cannons though. The cannons I think just save them.
cannons
if they
are not
finish.
done. No, I don't think
we
they're
really
not
need
with
to
Stim.
target fire the cannons though. Okay. Okay. If
Okay.
even one cannon finishes, I would dare
Really?
say the anti-micro will be so strong.
Yeah.
It's
gonna
Oh my
stim
god, the
to our
target
death.
fire is the target fire is insane. Inside job.
Where's the
Inside
Reaver?
job's killing it.
The Reaver exists.
Oh my god, the Reaver's out. Okay.
It's gonna die to one Firebat.
This is possibly the best.
I have never seen a Firebat kill a Reaver.
Reaver
I've
fire.
been
You
playing
have made
No.
the anti-micro was so
Well,
freaking strong.
What happened?
I'm like, I've been playing Brood War since like 2006, and I don't think I've ever seen Reaver versus Firebat micro, but here it is. That was that.
Reaver
That was it.
versus fire.
It did not fire earlier.
The trick is, the fire bat has
Straight up
to
built
not
it
get
because
shot
all I
even
saw is
one
dead
time by the
Marines, but
Reaver.
never saw
Yeah,
crap
yeah,
out of it.
yeah. It's an intense micro battle where you
Okay. The
Hope
Reaper's
that they
down now, it's at the ramp.
run
He's
away
gonna
without
go.
firing at you,
yeah,
basically.
you're like maybe he won't build any scarabs. Oh, he didn't have any
He
scarabs.
didn't
He had
build
no
any scarabs,
scarabs.
but then look, the scarab finishes and he still doesn't fire until the thing's almost
Yeah,
dead.
yeah. He turns around and is like, "Oh, that's right. I have to shoot."
Okay.
He
this.
probably could have
There
gotten
we
the
go.
second
I
one,
didn't
which
see
I
it
think would have
first.
saved
All
it.
of that. Yeah. Think Esk is gonna raid us after this game, or are there even more games?
If there are even more games,
without
I vote we
fire bats?
cancel our cast.
No, I
And
vote
we
we do
just-
not cancel our cast because I have no time this week. So
Hear me out, hear me out.
hear me out.
The bunker's almost
Yes.
finished. Dude, the SCV dies before the bunker finishes, but
No,
there's
I'm
just
just-
a wild rally across the map.
Oh my god. The bunker doesn't finish, but Vint is still fucked. Can you explain to me how fucked Vint is right now? He doesn't have anything producing, but he's still gonna
They're gonna come out peaceful.
stay in
Well,
the game.
yeah.
This is not gonna work.
Terran's killing the robotics support bay, which actually does nothing. So
Hold on, these two Dragoons for sure are gonna win the game for Vint.
I mean, these probes, they need
I
to
mean,
fight. They
there's
need to
only
contribute.
one medic. Like
There's only one medic, but like
Okay, the Nexus
medics
is
are
gone.
the
More Marines are rallying
inside
in.
job could
We had, like, a
100%
little bit of a macro lapse in
just
some of the
leave right now,
production of the Marines did,
and the game is 100%
they have a little
over.
bit of a gap, but
I guess yeah. There's well now he couldn't if he brings all of his SCVs.
wow,
What
SCVs
the
are gonna
fuck
actually
are we
drill
doing?
He
them.
really
Oh, but we missed
balled
it.
out
We
on this
got-
one.
oh.
Oh my
That's
god. He's
that's
finishing
a
the bunker
real-
with no Marines to put inside of it. That's
Nice.
so
Yeah.
good. This
Finishing
is-
the bunker
Bunker's
while
gonna die.
floating
That was a great probe by Vint.
1,000 minerals and gas.
Oh my god.
And now
Probes?
That
Has
happens.
anyone checked on the probes?
for free. They give away,
It's
like,
Are the
15
probes
probes?
okay?
somehow this
I
game is
don't
still
think
going
they're okay.
well.
Well, the SCV is just gonna go home. They're like, all right, our job's done here. Made that bunker.
This is crazy.
Marines are gonna get in this one. Okay, well we have one
Still
bunker
does not
covering.
I think we just.
Well, but like
can't
one base
take the
Protoss,
nap.
you know. Yeah, I
One
guess one
base
base Protoss
Protoss-
with no probes.
One
not
base
so
Protoss
good.
versus Zerg is okay.
Range.
We're
One base
talking
Protoss-
Terran here.
Range now, but we're not building any
One base
sort of
Protoss
range.
when
Now
you
we
have
get a reaver.
probes is like kind of good. Oh,
Terran is
yeah.
actually getting their
What are
natural
we
build.
researching?
So-
Researching Dragoon
Dragoon
range.
tanks are
Yeah, I
Oh,
think it's a
awesome.
little late.
Really
Yeah,
good for
if
Terran.
you were the one that put down the proxy pylon and you do not have Dragoon range by 14 minutes into the game, something has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah.
And I tried to distract Terran, yeah.
Yeah, I
Vince
can.
Tried to abuse the
with
high
the
ground, except
250
every shot is
APM
connecting.
Down.
and no Dragoon range.
And one Marine and a Dragoon with a medic.
Don't have Dragoon range, but it's okay because Inside Job 911 USA doesn't have siege mode. I don't know. I think we're donezo.
I
They
like this from inside. Look at this. They're
Inside
going
job
around
Like-
is just finding
shooting
the
down
most
like
embarrassing way to
They
troll
wanna
this kid
make
right now.
absolute sure that Vint didn't-
Yeah, like you just get one siege tank and I don't know, like a wraith or something. I don't know. There's a Rantati quest for that. You need a vulture, a siege tank, a fire bat, and a Valkyrie, and then you can get an extra selector and use that to get a reaver. That's the play here, I think. Okay, Vin remembered that he has a reaver. He's like, that's right. I have reavers. I don't fuck your bunker. Get out of here. These Marines are about to be like really dead. They don't know.
mega
Okay,
dead.
well,
Rip to those
all right.
Marines.
R.I.P. to the Marines. This one medic here is like,
Yeah.
I mean, it could turn the game. I mean, granted, Terran has already set up a set of turret
Can you imagine
Has
being that one
anyone-
medic, right? Like they're like, okay, we want you to go stake out the Protoss base. Like, don't worry, there's a bunker there with some Marines in it, so you'll be safe. And then you just like you watch a mecha slug just like destroy, just blow them all up. And you're like, oh, all right, well, I'm dead.
I say this with no sense of irony. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say if the push made it and Inside Job did not have siege mode,
Yes.
maybe
If there was not
there
siege-
was a chance.
I was gonna say, if there was not siege mode, I think Terran could still die. Did make a wraith. Love that, by the way. Inside
Love
job
that.
9/11. If there's any chance that you're watching this,
Oh no.
that rocks.
We can't elevate
Building a wraith against the Protoss. I think we're about to discover why you don't do that. Okay, well, he's doing it. I'm like, yeah, that's not.
Let me
Well,
make a
I guess
quick-
yeah. If you fear if you
Inside job
fear
is coming
the
all the way,
dropship, right?
but they are
Like,
gonna try to shuttle in anyway.
yes.
And there is,
Okay,
it
we
looks like there
saw
is
the
some
Wraith
gap,
and
but
then
it's
brought the
still
shuttle in,
landing.
and we're like,
Oh,
yeah,
Shuttle is done.
this'll do the
Looks
trick.
like the turrets get the shuttle, but they've managed to get one
Just shoot
Weaver
the
in and
Wraith.
one Dragoon.
Okay.
The Dragoon knocks out the Wraith. So if we get
Alright,
a
we
follow-up
got
shot,
the
we might be
Wraith.
able to do
We've
something,
successfully
something
baited
about
the
this.
target fire away from the Reaver.
Yeah, but the Reaver's
The
gonna
Reaver's
die
super
to
dead.
an
The
SCV.
Reaver doesn't make it. He's gonna go
Okay.
down. He did get one tank at least.
Hmm.
And this Goon.
Okay. Unfortunately, that
Oh,
Reaver
yeah,
was pretty much our last chance of winning this game, it feels like.
Is a tie.
I concur there, yeah.
Okay, so you scout.
Heron's gonna build another Wraith. Heron is not done stunting.
I'm gonna mute this real quick.
So-
No disrespect to Escalade. He's my boy, but our
Oh,
casting
yeah.
is way
No,
better.
I love Escalade, but I was assured. Wait, can I just not count time? Is that what happened? Did I look at this? Oh, you know what? I don't know how time works. That's the problem.
You don't know how time works?
I don't know how time works. Escalade started his cast at 7, and I was like, 2.5 hours from 7 o'clock? That's 8:30. That's not 8:30.
Oh my
That's 9:30. That's why
you're
this is
telling
like
me
this.
I could have been at Buffalo Wild Wings for upwards of 30 more minutes from now, and instead I get to watch Inside Job 911 scout using one of his 3 barracks in a PVT.
Are you really telling me that you wouldn't take that trade 10 times out of 10? Alright, well, I gotta stop bitching at Escalade for not being done with his cast exactly when he said he was gonna be done with his cast.
The good news is, for all those interested, I did win my fantasy game this week.
Oh, yeah, did I? I think I did also in mine. I benched a guy because my luck is so bad. I was ahead by 2 points with one player to play, and I'm like, no, you're gonna fumble, you dumbass. I'm benching you. Okay, the guy I benched scored like 20 points, but it's fine. I still win. Chris Olave scored me -1 points. Okay, I need you to know that that's how this went. That's how my fantasies. I'm 0-5, although I will be 1-5 when this finishes.
Yeah, I'm 2-4, so I can't really talk that much.
Yeah, what happens like every year is that the my points against is like the highest in the league by 1 million. And my points against is 50 more than the next highest.
Okay, what the fuck just happened here? I wasn't paying attention at all, and then I look back at it, and the game is kind of normalized.
Yeah, the game just looks like totally reasonable. I'm like, what the fuck? Getting a science facility, getting zealots legs. I mean, I think like I feel like as Protoss you can't give Perrin this big of a head start. Like we're gonna have 1-0 when Protoss has like none tech. Well, I mean maybe
However,
Perrin will just fly out with a dropship, lose 2 tanks, and then not be able to push for a year. So
have
that's
you
a
considered that
possibility.
Inside Job has not spent any money since gaining the edge?
Yeah, we do have like a ass load of minerals. You should just like build a CC.
That's facts. CC and like
I sometimes
mine more
see
gas
this
earlier.
I feel like is one of my like big failings as a player, and one that I see a lot in like the low ranks of CPL that I internally inhabit is like it feels like if you lose your expansion you're gonna lose the game, because that's often what happens if it's like early in the game and you're like, well, like I kinda needed that and like now it's dead, so I'm fucked. But
This
like
is
you just have a
incredibly
lot.
funny. Hold on, I'm sorry.
If you just
to
like have a
interrupt.
lot of minerals, then it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I
Double
am
tank
sorry
drop.
to interrupt. Double tank drop. Nobody cares about that though. The hilarious thing is he could have double tank dropped down on the lower part and still hit the probes. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? This little bridge
Yes.
down here. Why would you double tank drop on this map?
Look, when
And
you double
not-
tank drop a Protoss, it's about sending a message, okay? Like,
It's
the point is not to like kill as many probes as possible, because then you would just use the vulture, right? Like, if you actually wanted to do damage, just like use the vulture. But the double tank drop is just like we're clowning on them, right?
I guess so. I feel like genuinely though, a tank drop would be maybe like 1 tank and 2 vultures so that you could mine up the area behind the ridge.
Yes, tank. Yeah, 1 tank, 2 vultures, drop some mines, and just deny mining. Yeah, 1 of Protoss's 3 bases. I still think the Terran just make a command center. It doesn't matter if you can't defend it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Who cares? Just make it.
You're floating so much money anyways.
Yeah. Because like you're in a position right now where it's like you can actually just afford to lose it. You can just try to take it, and then if the like creeps in with too much stuff and you can't defend it, just I don't know, fuck it, who cares? Like you're not doing anything in the minerals anyway, so what does it matter?
Oh,
You can't get interest on them. Are we building another fire bat? Do we build more fire bats at 20 minutes into the game?
You got to make sure that you're building some fire bats. Kill
Yes.
those zealots. I'm
Build a
telling
few
you,
fire bats.
not trying to be funny. I think fire bats with having 3 barracks, they're just like cheaper vultures. Barely
Water
cheaper.
Serpent is that you? I don't think they're cheap. They cost gas, and also they suck. Like what? What the fuck?
But they
you
do
talking about?
splash damage though. They do splash
Yeah,
damage.
they do splash damage if
They
they ever
serve the
get
same-
close enough to the Protoss army to attack, which
No,
they
they
won't.
serve the
so-
same purpose of killing all the zealots. Like vultures don't do shit against dragoons. That's not the purpose they serve in the
That's-
army.
Terran players always, or Protoss players always say this, like, oh yeah, like vultures, but like I don't see it. Like I see vultures just like fight dragoons all the time. Okay, well this is a move out for the ages.
Good thing
I
there's
don't-
only 6 dragoons here.
Okay, so Terran. So hold on. So Terran has like 35 more army supply than the Protoss.
We're losing our science vessel though.
Yeah,
So
the
single
science, having
DT.
that science vessel would have been cool. There's 50 million zealots. Where are our fire bats?
Can you believe this is the same game that had the 2 proxy pylon with forges?
Where are our fire bats? They need to fight these zealots. Oh my god! Oh my
They're
god!
right there.
Water Serpentem, where are you?
Water serpent.
Wow,
This
the fire
guy-
bats kind of suck against the zealots, dude.
This guy is fortressing.
Is he fortress? Where's best unit? Okay, because
Fire bat is best unit. What do you mean,
I think-
sister?
I think Vint needs to go for best unit to counter this fortressing play. Okay, we got tanks. We're across the bridge. This bridge is like the graveyard of Terran empires, by the way. So many games from Terran. You're like, I watch. Oh I watch my love, my joy arcade play on this map. It's just like, okay, like we got a big army. Like, time to cross these 3 bridges. Okay, it's gone. Like this. R.I.P. your whole army. It's like died to storms or zealot bombs or reavers or just like any one of the million things Protoss can do.
And Vince says, "What if I still have a chance?
Yeah,
What if I'm
this
still in
is
this game right now?"
this is a mindset, this is a grind set that I do not have. I would have left this game so fast. I think
No,
I think
I
when I
agree.
saw those 3 fire bats attacking my zealots, I would have left the game. I'd have been like, yep. No.
Oh my god, we
outdone.
get the Dark Templar. Huge Mind Daybok, in fact.
Mine Daybok.
That is Korean for Mine Big Hit.
Drag. Mine big hit. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what that means.
Nice.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
We googling it?
I was trying to get if Connor, if you're still in the stream, can you confirm what Daybok means?
Okay,
Oh my
well,
god.
Protoss
these
just
Dark
gonna make like
Templars are gonna make-
500 Dark Templar. Oh my god.
This game is gonna go on for 35
Do we
minutes.
have a science vessel? Is there one on the map?
This is
just gonna, like-
truly the Forge Fast Expand of Protoss vs Terran games.
We need Terran needs to just build missile turrets. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's what they're doing.
Okay. Yes. Build missile. Okay, and we have a science vessel. Alrighty. It's looking good. I think Terran should consider the possibility of this base existing. Yeah, okay. Terran's like, wait a
No,
minute.
Terran's got it.
Wait a minute. You can build shit up there. That's right. This shit's dead. This shit's dead. Mana Dog.
Oh.
Hi, Mana Dog. How's it going?
Hold on. We've got
Hold
an
on.
arbiter. This changes the math entirely.
Does it though? We have a shuttle full of zealots. I love that.
We
Just
go
like,
from
yeah.
being down 45 army supply to like 35 army supply.
Right, yeah, because how much supply is an arbiter? It's like 6 supply or something ridiculous, right?
It's 4, but
4?
you got to
It
think
feels
about
like
the
8.
absolute intimidation factor of having cloaked units.
Alright, so we're just gonna run these zealots
Yep,
away
run them
and
directly
use
into the
them to
minefield.
clear the mines, yeah,
Get
and then eat a
EMP'd,
fat EMP.
and then tank drop.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
fly up
Are we
that
gonna-
arbiter,
why are we
realize you
flying
got
the arbiter
EMP'd,
back? Okay.
die to missile turret, okay?
The classic
okay.
A move
okay.
the arbiter so that it aggroes onto the turret. That's tragic.
And that's gonna be game.
See, here's the thing that I don't get. What about that attack? You were at 90 supply before that attack, and now you're at 90 supply after the attack. Why are we leaving if we're staying in the game till that long? He didn't kill another base. You didn't lose any supply based on where you already were. And in fact, you have arbiters coming.
Yeah, I concur. Should have, if like, in for a penny, in for a pound. You know, if you're gonna stay in the game that long,
you gotta at least get your 35
just
minutes.
Get it more. Yeah, exactly. LeaSt knows exactly how that works.
Best viewers on streamboo.com. I'm
Best
going
viewers
to
on Oh,
pin
nice.
that message. Just kidding. I'm gonna ban that guy.
Yeah, I would ban that guy.
Manage suspicious user. How do I ban this guy? Block? No.
All right, I think Esk is gonna raid us now, so
Okay.
that owns.
That owns. I'll go ahead and hide the window capture as I figure out.
We'll hide the fact that we were just casting over Esk on his own game.
We were just the alternate casts for people that don't like.
Hello, Escalade fans, who are hopefully also LeaSt VW fans. We did actually already stream the first game because I cannot do math and I didn't know what time we were supposed to start. So we did Skler vs. Wizzer, and it rocked. Anyway, what? Oh, I should join this game. That's right. I should join the replay.
We're feeling so alternative, Arcane, that we casted the entire last game of Escalade's cast, but just as the secondary move, you know?
Yeah, we actually, we for a little bit we were because I fucked up the time so bad. We were just watching Escalade's game, which, by the way, inside job 9/11 USA, you are my hero. Anyway, let's do some introductions. Over up here in the top left in the black, we have our Zerg player Tachometr, and in the bottom right we have our other Zerg player in purple and magenta, Skler, because I didn't look at who was playing.
Already casted.
I didn't look at who was playing. ZVZ, I love ZVZ. People out there are like, I hate ZVZ, and you're all wrong. ZVZ is an awesome matchup. I love ZVZ because it really, like, every little decision is so punishable, right? Like, there's no room for error. There's no room for just like, oh, like I'll just be a little bit late or whatever, like be a little bit suboptimal. Like you have to make decisions on how you're going to spend every single larva, and whatever decisions you make, like there's upsides and downsides. You have to be very, very careful, and I think that rocks. I think CVZ on 2-player maps is also good because you don't end up getting the sort of like random, not random, but there's a little bit of just like variance in like do you or do you not get the Overlord Scout first, right? And there's sometimes games where it's like, well, player 1 got the Overlord Scout, player 2 didn't get the Overlord Scouts. They're just like behind informationally, and that sucks. And this is not going to be one of those games. It's a 2-player map, so the information is roughly even. Skler going for an overpool, and Tachometr going for a 9-hatch, it looks like. 9-hatch. I'm gonna talk a lot, LeaSt. Sorry, you can jump in when you want. I think 9-hatch is like, it's a very popular CPL build at my level. It's kind of easy to do because you get your hatchery and then you get your spawning pool and then you make a bunch of lings and go kill them. It's a little limited, like you don't really have a lot of options to transition if it doesn't work. But, you know, you kind of don't have to a lot of the time because you just kill them with the lings. So, I haven't played this against... I play 9-hatch a lot because I think it rocks. I haven't played it against Overpool much. I think it'll be interesting. Because, like, against a lot of the, like, pool-first builds, it's like, well, like, you just have more larvae than they do and you run... Like this against 9-pool can be kind of just, like, one-sided because...
What is
like, you just
Skler
have more
doing
larvae
here?
than them and you run over them.
I'm
What is
sorry
Skler
to
doing?
interrupt. Yeah, what is this creep colony? Like,
This
we
is
haven't
just
seen...
defensive.
We haven't seen that it's 9-hatch, though. The Overlord
We haven't
hasn't
seen that
made...
it's 9-hatch. It might just be the case that we're going to go for this defensive sunk anyway because we're delaying lings. Like, Skler went up to 10 drones. These lings are kind of late. And also, he should know by now that his... Well, he doesn't know for sure, but he should have an intuition that he hasn't seen a second Overlord yet, which is a good indicator of either 9-hatch or 9-pool. Both of which you probably want this sunk against. I don't love the sunk placement. It's like kind of out
Right, you
on
want
the
to put it
corner.
where you
You'd
can
love it
drill.
like... Yeah, either somewhere you can drill or like tucked behind the mineral line, just like limit the surface area. Because yeah, so this is where 9-hatch is good. Is this speed late? The speed feels a little late, but that's fine. It kind of doesn't matter. You're just gonna make a lot of lings, right? Like you got 2 hatcheries, make lings out of all the hatcheries, make an Overlord at some point. But like honestly, who cares? Just make a lot of lings. And Skler, like. The upside of this build is frequently just like math. Like, well, look, I have 2 hatcheries worth of larvae, and you have 1. So what are you going to do? And the answer is we're going to build 2 sunken colonies, which is definitely part of the equation.
Can we get the sunken
I think
down?
you need a good drone drill to save the sunks, because they have a lot of exposed surface area. Alright, well, I mean, so right at this second, we do not actually have any ling advantage for Tachometr, so... You can't fight yet.
Or
Okay,
can
yeah.
he?
Well, if you get a nice kind of surround, but yeah, like you can peter out very quickly with this build. Okay, now we have speed. That makes the lings a good bit better. Can't fight under these sunks until we have
Actually
an
loving
overwhelming
the
advantage.
idea here. I'm actually loving the idea here.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, it doesn't quite work out, I don't think, because unless he's just not
can't
able
hit this
to.
spawning
Yeah.
pool. I think maybe like right on the top left corner you could, like you get like 1 or
Right.
2 lings on there and just chip it.
Even then, though, like if he gets
Yeah,
the
yeah, so
spawning
he- so
pool,
he-
even if he loses
yeah.
some lings, it's good, right? Like
Yeah.
win the game good, probably.
Yeah, although we're like this spire's almost done, so like if Skler gets some mutas out and doesn't just lose like every drone, this game is over.
Right.
Like Tachometer's got nothing behind this. It's all lings, and it looks like okay. So yeah, it's like guess the spawning pool. There's no mutas. Okay, there's 2 mutas on the way. We just need to not lose like every single drone.
Okay.
And I think you don't lose every single drone. Okay, so that was not every single drone. Tachometer needs to like build an evo chamber right now, like because otherwise these mutas are just gonna stabilize and then like end the game. You can build a lot of lings and like force the mutas to stay home for a little while, but like that will only last for so long. And it looks like Skler knows. He's like, yeah, like just think about like how do I lose this game? Like, okay, get carapace so that we don't risk it. Okay, should turn around these mutas though. Yeah. Just stay home. You can see what your opponent's
Cap.
doing.
I mean, he's got 2 sunkens to be fair, so
Yeah, it's got
Like-
2 Sunkens, but like the main risk is that if you don't defend your drones, then the Lings. Well, okay, well, the Link Micro.
Skler is the GOAT. I'm not gonna lie. If
It's only
anyone in this group
2.
beats Skler, I would be not only in shock, but also in awe.
Only 2 mutas. I guess this Spore is just like not gonna finish in time to save any of the drones. And yeah, now things look really dire. Like, can't even afford to run both of these hatcheries at once. Gonna lose every single drone. And Lings are gonna come in. Like, they can be annoying, but Skler just has so much room for error at this point. Like,
Yeah,
It's-
zero drones to 11. Pretty good.
yeah. I mean, Tachometer can build a lot of drones if he spends any of his larvae on that, but he's not interested. He's gonna build like 8 Lings, but like, yeah, maybe this will do it. I don't think it'll do it. Sorry,
This is
Tachometer.
the one for sure.
I mean, I like I said, I love this build, but yeah, this is it's time to time to throw in the towel. I think when you're down to 0 drones. Oh, we got the drones rallied. Okay, going back home. It's like right. These are my this is my entire economy right here. right. Yeah.
The question is, can
I
these
caught a mine with
Zerglings
you.
distract for long enough for us
Yeah,
to
I
get
think
enough
they-
minerals to build another drone?
Yeah, I think they probably only need to occupy Skler's attention for like 10 more minutes to recover. Cause like, so yeah, this is just like what a nice W against a 9 hatch looks like. Is like you hold, you do what you got to do to hold. Don't lose like way too many drones, and then you have a tech advantage they can just never catch up with. Like, yeah, he's never gonna get a lair. It's Jover.
It is Jover and Skler. For those that haven't been keeping track, is 2-0 in this group.
2-0 in this group.
Truly, GOAT tier. I'm getting pinged, so we must truly not be able to hear
Gotquail
you.
is asking about all the dumbest shit, but
You are in luck, Gotquail.
yeah.
Because truly, we're about to go into a 3-game stretch of the dumbest shit that you've ever seen in your life.
One player described this as wait, I need to get the exact quote because it was pretty good. The dumbest shit I ever seen. Yeah. So
Go ahead and
yeah.
pin that message right there. I'm going to say unpin after 180 seconds. Enter. There we go. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Are you going
right.
to
No,
rejoin
we're not,
the-
because I joined the game. I keep forgetting I need to do that.
I keep distracting the audience with my charm and good looks, and then you keep not joining the game anyways. It's okay, though. Because in the next game here, we do have Packrat386. With the
yeah.
Incredibad split.
I
But
remember
we were
this. This is
for-
actually the worst drone split that I've ever done in my entire life. Oh yeah, and for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm casting my own games because I've decided that CPL needs more heals. So we're just gonna go with like an unashamed self-aggrandizing cast. So here it is in the top left, in the beautiful pink. We have CPL QD, and in the bottom right, I'm so not good at right and left. In the horrible magenta, we have Wizzer. And did I host this on top versus bottom? I did. I'm switching to allied colors because as much as I love my pink, I actually cannot see that.
Okay. Here, I was just gonna make a joke about this, so I'd love for your opinion.
Yep.
How can you not tell based on what race the units are? Personally, if it's not a mirror matchup, I'm like, yeah, dude. Let's have the pink and the magenta same game. Let's go.
Yeah, it's more for like when I'm looking at the mini map, you know?
Okay.
Like, yeah, because I mean, you know, I'm not usually looking at the probe wandering around the Zerg base, but like, wait, is that Zerg's probe? You know? But like, yeah, when I'm looking at the mini map, I'm like, who is doing that thing? And I don't know. So let's see. What's Zerg doing? Zerg's going for an overpool. And LeaSt had some fire for me earlier, where someone went overpool in a game, and then LeaSt was like, "Oh, like Packrat would never." Um, just throwing that out there, you know.
Unfortunate call out for LeaSt.
Unfortunate. Talk one up for Packrat.
Just did not seem like your style. What can I say? Making the natural hatchery.
Making the natural hatchery, and Wizzer's going for Forge Fast Expand. LeaSt, you're a lover of the Forge Fast Expand.
We stand the Forge Fast Expand.
Do you love it on this map? Is this a good map for Forge?
In my opinion, as someone that sucks at PvZ and hasn't won against a good Zerg in like ages, yes, I love Forge Fast Expand. In my genuine opinion, the further the rush distances are, the relatively better Forge Fast Expand becomes, because the weaker Gate First becomes, if that makes sense.
So, in my opinion, I love, I think you can 10-12 on this map and have it be a one-gap wall. And I think that completely.
That is pretty sick.
Someone did that to me once, and I think I just conceded when I saw it. I was doing something absolutely brain dead, like 9 full speeding them, and I like showed up. And they like have a wall with a zealot in it. I'm like, oh yeah, you're it's all right. Bye. But we have here a beautiful. So, yeah, all of you CPL Zergs out there, if you have 6 lings and you see 1 cannon, you can just kill it. Yeah, so we saw 1 cannon. Fortunately, this Zergling micro is like F tier, because I'm like, all right, I got the links in your base, and then do manage to kill another cannon.
The fact that we've killed this cannon twice makes me so sad.
Yeah, so what's the proper response when your opponent just like runs 6 lings at you like a caveman?
If
when
you
you're
see
going
6
for
lings, you literally just block the entryway with 2 probes and you're fine.
Gotcha.
But we're going to kill this pylon, it seems.
You might think that, but the ling micro in this game, it's not good. For someone who builds a lot of lings, you might expect better ling micro.
In this exact game, I would argue that it would just be better for Wizzer to stop trying to build cannons altogether and just to focus on building zealots, because the zealots seem to be giving much more trouble.
Yeah, the zealots are working. Yeah. Meanwhile, building some hatcheries back at home, not building any drones. So like, you know, if the 5 hatch no gas that Skler was doing is like the grilled cheese that your mom makes for you, this one's like the one that your dad makes for you, but he never does it. And it's like all wrong in like a whole bunch of ways, and you're just like, okay, well, like you tried, but this kind of sucks.
It's sweet that you cared, but
you know, like
also...
I appreciate you doing this for me, but it's not good.
The portion of getting lings in the base that no one ever talks about is the having to micro the lings in the base.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because, like, you know, you see, like, a good player like Crossy gets 2 speedlings in his opponent's base, and it's like, oh my god, it's over. And then you see, it's like, I get 2 lings in Protoss base, and it's like, oh my god, it's over for Packrat, because he's just gonna micro these instead of making any drones, and then die.
Do we have... So, walk me through your thought process here.
Okay.
I'm loving the complete disregard for SimCity of any kind.
Yes.
What are we...
So these hatcheries were placed in like a blind panic of just like, oh my god, I have like 600 minerals. just gotta put some hatcheries somewhere. Oh my god.
You got one that you could make some SimCity with.
Yeah, one's in a good spot, and then one of these hatcheries is like a ZVT hatchery. We're just like, why is this here?
I mean,
by some miracle, I have almost as many drones as I'm supposed to have.
I was just gonna say, we did get a decent drone count.
And I have not. Do I have 9 drones on minerals in the main? That's incredible. That should not have happened.
Wizzer, if you're watching this, for the love of God, please don't make this many Corsairs against 5 hatch no gas ever again. This is the second game that Wizzer has played against 5 hatch no gas.
Yeah, LeaSt is coping, seeding, malding about Corsairs versus 5 hatch no gas.
You truly. I mean, it's
because like that's the real way that you punish this build, right? As Protoss, is you just like you see that they don't have a lair, and you're like, oh, I'm just like not even gonna build a Stargate. Fuck you.
Even if
what am I building this Stargate for?
Even if you like strategically build less Corsairs, that's also fine. But to just continue trying to hit a normal 730 timing does not work very well. Especially when your speed just started at 730, that also is not very helpful.
Now that is a LeaSt worthy 730 timing.
Okay, let's just hold on for a gosh darn second here. He does have +1, so that I would argue that's way better than a LeaSt timing.
Yes, Wizzer for tier 0.
Did we already?
Hydras.
These are fast.
Imagine,
Hydras, yeah.
imagine if you will the Hydralisk.
Okay.
I'm actually down. I didn't watch this replay. I didn't realize I was down in supply right here. That's kind of embarrassing.
Wizzer, for the second consecutive game, takes the boldest possible third base.
I also did I know this third base existed? I don't know that I even checked.
I love the fact that we're immediately just like, if we can get some cannons up here, we could do it. We could have a third base.
Yeah, this is real. This is real ballsy play. 2 cannons. Oh, this is also the second game in a row where Wizzer has 2 cannons to defend against. So like, then the rule of thumb is you need 1 cannon per like 2 or 3 Hydras. This is 1 cannon per control group of Hydras, which like, love the vibe, but yeah.
Hey,
build more cannons. They're really good.
Finish. We just had Zealot speed finish. If you take down this wall,
right, this is gonna make the Zealots better. This is just gonna make the Zealots better.
Actually, a trap from Wizzer here.
Yeah. Then we fight the Zealots.
Incredible. Based.
And then make more Hydralisks. Supply blocked to absolute hell right now, by the way. I'm down 20 supply. This rocks. I thought this game was going better for me. Didn't even watch the replay.
Wow. If only Wizzer could have known that they were actually up 20 supply.
I still think I had that game won, but it sure looks a lot closer with Vision.
Okay. It appears one of my preseason opponents is in the chat, seeing that I pay attention to Starcraft, which is kind of embarrassing. I don't do this on the regular. I'm a filthy casual. I blame Wizzer's coach, which I believe is Got Quail. Got Quail?
Wait, Got Quail's coaching Wizzer?
Got Quail passed this message along. The amount of Corsairs he built had me pissing and shitting and farting, like, all over the place. Anyways.
Right. In the top left.
Yeah.
In the pink.
Killed it.
CPL cutie. And in the bottom right, in the gray, Tachometr. It's ZVZ again.
ZVZ.
Was Tachometr the one who went 9 hatch in the last game?
Tachometr was the one that went 9 hatch.
I think I might know what happens this game. I might remember a game that I played. That's the level of sophistication we're at. This is why I can safely cast my own games, is because I've already forgotten what happened in most of them. building an Overlord is
What
the
is
pink Zerg.
wrong with you?
Ooh, building an Overlord is the gray Zerg.
Were
Maybe I
you-
don't remember. Maybe I don't know what happens in this game.
Oh, no. The Overlord got canceled by the Gray Zerg. We're
Cancel
chilling.
the Overlord. All right, that actually
We
completely rocks.
Don't need that
And then
larva
build the
anyways.
they'll build the 9 hatch, and gas before pool. This is overgas. So I was telling LeaSt the other day about how good I am at identifying build orders, right? This is overgas because you build the Overlord then the gas. If I had built a pool instead of this gas, that would be overpool. Build knowledge right there.
Can
Tier
you explain
3s.
to me why it's called 9 hatch?
When you only build 2 hatcheries, yeah, it's complicated, but you build the hatch on 9 supply.
Oh,
So
okay.
overgas, this build's cool. You get a lot of gas. You just like build an early gas so that you get a lot of gas, and then you get like a very early layer, but roughly like kind of similar laying timing as like overpool. So your lings are out in time that you don't die to 9 pool, but you will have more gas than the 9 pool or like a 9 pool layer. So you have like a big bank of gas and you can make a lot of mutas. And that's good. And then against more economic builds, you have faster mutas than them, and you use that to like try to claw your way back in the mid game. But yeah, so I'm just building some lings here to try to not die to whatever I'm becoming, and Tachometer is probably going to start building a whole lot of Zerglings. Ling speed, okay. And then Zerglings probably gonna take off gas. Not gonna take off gas. Gonna leave one off gas. So like this is, I feel like I see this sometimes where it's like you just leave one on gas because you don't really need all the drones mining minerals anyway, and it like gives you a little bit of an opportunity to transition later. Very important message for everyone in the chat. It's never too late to transition. People tell you that it's this has gone on too long or that it's gonna be too hard. It's always possible. So. Just wanna get that information out there. But yeah, so this is the point where I see that it's 9 hatch, and so now it's like freak out time. Gotta build sunks, I think.
Okay.
If I was playing this game right now, I'd build some sunks.
we love that the creep colony went down not 5 seconds after you said that. Is the supply block intentional here?
Yeah, okay, legitimately, yes. That you're, like, kind of supposed to be supply blocker. There should be an Overlord on the way. That bit's not intentional, but you're supposed to be supply blocked right now. You're not supposed to be supply blocked for, like, 10 minutes, but you are supposed to be supply blocked.
Yeah, getting supply blocked for 2 minutes in a ZVZ is like getting supply blocked for 45 minutes in a PvT.
Pretty good. Okay, so at this point it's like we've got the 2 sunks. We should have more lanes, but we don't because I was supply blocked forever. And there's mutas on the way, so like 9 hatch players kind of on the clock now, right? Like you can't let the overgas player just like get a big mutaflock because then you will die. A lot of links coming across the map, so it's like it's roughly go time. And I actually do have a lair done, but don't really have the money to build a spire, which is kind of unfortunate. I have to go for an Evo chamber. So like, yeah, first couple of mutas are out, and it's like gotta make a move. Tachometer decides it's time to make said move. Got way more lings than I do. This drone drill, this is not an awesome drone drill, but it's probably my best drone drill I've ever executed in my entire life.
Felt like a pretty good drone drill to me. I was impressed.
And successfully don't like completely die to the Lingus.
We're still up on drones.
Still up on drones. That might not be true for long because Tachometer has 6 drones in production. That is one of the nice things about this 9-hatch is like you have a lot of larvae, so if you have the opportunity to transition, like kind of what goes on here is what some of the games look like, where like you can keep the muta player like pinned in their base by the threat of your Zerglings, and then you have a lot of drones. So like you have a lot of larvae, so you can make a lot of drones pretty quickly. These are up to 14 drones, which in ZVZ is like that's so many drones.
Yeah, you're Oprah rich right there.
Oh, yeah, going up to 18 drones, that's 2 ZVZs worth of drones right
The
there.
absolute hubris to go up to 18 drones.
And I'm gonna fly in here and micro my mutas really badly, and just be like, maybe I can fight this spore colony with. You cannot fight a spore colony with 4 mutalisks. That's not. Don't do that. So we lose 2 mutas and don't kill any drones. I'm like, nice, mission accomplished.
Let's get out of here, team. We did it.
We fucking showed him. All right. That'll teach him.
So it's at this point where, personally, someone that does not watch this matchup at all, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
Tachometer's got the game in the bag. He's
So-
got 2 different spore colonies.
So yeah,
and
this is the point where I'm like, I'm alt tabbing to try to like pick a good song out of my playlist. It's like,
No, that's fair.
waiting to die. Got the Spire, got the Lings. So the thing that Overgas usually has is like you've got kind of a good bank of gas. I've been mining like 3 on gas this whole time, so I can make a reasonably big mutaflock. And even after losing a couple, like my current mutaflock is 6, and it's going to be a little bit before our opponent can challenge that. And so, kind of the move is like use this advantage to like maybe expand, right, and get up a gas, and then because then if I'm mining from 2 gas, it's like okay, he can have all the drones he wants, but if I can mine from 2 gas and he can't, then what's the like that's enough of an advantage, right? It forces him to have to attack, at which point these spores, you can't. Main downside of spores, can't attack with them.
Okay, Tachometer, this is truly the way I would love to see ZVZ played. Is, hear me out. You just make the Scourge. And if they are not a 2000 level Zerg or higher, they're gonna fuck up the micro. And then
Ling Scourge is pretty good. It's like when you have 2 Ash like this, it's like, well, you have enough larva to make Lings and Scourge.
get fucked, Mutalisk.
Wow,
You might have taken out.
I didn't even know I lost that.
You may have taken
Learning
out
so
Overlord,
much watching these replays for the first time.
but at what cost? Why did Scourger so
This
dumb?
is why I try to. This is where I try to micro against the Scourge, and then remember that I cannot, and lose a Mutalisk immediately.
I cannot believe how long this game is going. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is a real. This is a long game for me, Like we're reaching almost 10 minutes.
It's a long game for a ZVZ period. Like, if we could get one of the sides to throw down a Queen's Nest here and go for Hive, my life would be complete.
That would be nutty. So really, I feel like I should be thinking about taking a base here. Okay, finally, I'm thinking about taking a base here. This is great. I'm, like, analyzing my thought process later. I'm like, why didn't I take this base yet? Like, okay, great, we did it. And so yeah, so taking this base is like, it's good. The Commodore is also going to take a base, but this is a little more bold because like I have 7 mutas versus 2 mutas and 3 Scourge. Okay, there's a lot more Scourge, but Scourge kind of have like diminishing returns a little bit.
Yeah,
And
we've
yeah,
got a
at some
lot
point,
of mutas.
continuous muta production will like be better than just like continuous Scourge production because you can just kill them. And a Ling comes up and says hi to the hatchery, and I think pretty quickly becomes deceased. Yeah, goodbye, that one's Zergling. And
Okay.
I actually had the slower carapace here. Also did not know that. So maybe my opponent did not have to attack. But luckily he didn't know that either, so he's gonna attack.
Huge plays. Huge plays. Wow. All of those Scourge flew directly into a single Mutalisk, it seemed like.
Yeah, Scourge do that sometimes. And
Okay, can we target down this hatchery? No, we can't. Almost certainly cannot. But maybe, though?
zooming in.
No, we can't. We can't after all.
Okay.
You tried your best to make it happen, but sometimes...
That's pretty huge, because now, like, you know, the gas bank is gone, and for both of us, and I have a Mutaflock, and Tachometer does not really... Tachometer's got a few mutas, but not enough mutas. I have some Scourge. And, Tachometer just cannot defend this base. Big Scourge hits.
I'm not gonna lie, I spaced out a little bit when you were talking about how spores can't move earlier, but now I'm totally getting what you were trying to go for.
Yeah, no,
it's...
we grok this, the spores not being able to move.
Grok this.
The static is dead. That's a move where I kill one of my own Mutalisks in an attempt to micro against the Scourge. That's advanced tactics.
That is...
Sulky hasn't quite mastered that technique yet, but I have.
GG.
GG.
Wow. Tachometer, unfortunately not able to make use of the 17-7 drone advantage at one point in the game, which is always a brutal turnaround.
The tech disadvantage that 9-hatch puts you in is pretty tough to dig out from. Quite difficult. I should join the game. Oh, I did join the game. Yes, we've done it.
We've done it.
We've done
I'm getting
it. We're in
pinged
the-
yet again.
Who's pinging you?
That was actually not a ping. That was a direct message, and I'm sorry. In the top left, we have our yellow Zerg, Skler.
And in the bottom right, in the pink, our beautiful protagonist, CPL Cutie. ZVZ again. Have I mentioned I love ZVZ? This group is so good for me to cast in so many ways.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. If we get another 10-minute ZVZ, I think, how do I say this? I'm gonna unalive myself.
Oh.
No, I'm just. I've got bad news.
I need to.
Bad news.
I need to call Xfinity really quick.
We're gonna need to
You have
pause
Xfinity?
the cast here.
But yeah, once again, I love ZVZ on two-player maps. I love that there's no information asymmetry. I feel the need to mention that so much. I'm like, two-player maps, ZVZ, so much fun. Cutie, going for Overgas again. I don't know if a lot of players like this. I feel like when I'm playing a bunch of best of ones in preseason, I'm like, why practice many build when few build do trick? Then I'm like, I shouldn't practice that build either. That'd be a bad idea. So I tend to just use the same build, and if I have the same matchup multiple times, I'll just use the same build multiple times. I feel like, yeah, Tachometer seemed like it was kind of on the same plan. I forget what Skler did in the first game, but it looks like kind of the same thing. Like, this is Overpool again, right?
Yeah, this is Overpool. And Skler did go
Nice.
Overpool, you're right. So it sounds
Yeah,
like the Zergs
right,
in
yeah.
this group are all...
Yeah, it's like, look, it's best of
strategically
one.
on the
Like,
same
just
page.
use your, like, you got your best build. Just use your best
Yeah.
build. It's where it's at. Overgas versus Overpool. I have to imagine that in general, this is pretty rough for Overpool, because it's like, you're not going to have your pool in time to be able to threaten, but your attack is just going to be later. Like, Overgas is just going to get the faster Spire and a nice big gas bank that you won't have. Like, they'll just be like 2 or 3 mutas ahead, and you probably don't get anything to show for it. I think really the only way that you could maybe get some kind of really sick advantage on them is like if it wasn't a 2-player map and like you got the first scout and they didn't, then maybe you could just like be really greedy because you know they probably you might know they are not the type of player who wants to go for speed first or something. But otherwise, it seems just like pretty tough. It looks like Skler is just going to build these like 2 preemptive Sunkens, which, yeah, this is a rather conservative way to play. I mean, I guess the upside is like you're probably not gonna just like die to 9 pool or something, but if you're already going over pool, like I feel like that should insulate you. And if you're worried about some later Ling Flood build, like you should have time to see it and put the sunks down. But either way, getting the lair, getting some drones, actually a drone up. So, you know, you've made taking advantage of the security afforded by the sunken colonies to be a little, oh, I guess once you make the Spire down a drone up, never mind. JK lol. But yeah, this is kind of difficult because like what does Overpool have to get an advantage here, right? Like you got to think about, you know, when you like you're looking at like if you're not playing mirror builds in ZVZ, it's like you got to look at what does your build have that they don't. And so like right now, the one thing to speak of is like we have like Overpool has these sunks and the Overgas player doesn't, which means that the Overpool player does not have to fear Zergling backstabs, which is like something, but not a whole lot. Because the main threat, like the Overgas player, sometimes Overgas will go speed first and then play a little more aggressively, almost like a 9 pool, but they can also just knock over speed and like sit on top of their ramp. And if they do that, then it's like, well, the Ling backstab's not really what you have to fear.
Yeah, it seems like we're putting on a little pressure here with the Lings. And I don't know shit about shit, so everybody bear with me here. But we do have 3, count 'em, 3 Mutalisks in production compared to 2, count 'em, 3 Mutalisks in production for our heroine here. So, Big Overgas wants you to believe that there's going to be a Muta advantage. Don't let them lie to you. Big Overgas wants you to believe in the more Mutas to sell more Overgas.
That's true, honestly. Well, so the big thing is that with Overgas you have a gas bank that you can use, except I think I must have fucked that up somehow because I don't even seem to have a gas bank, so that owns. I don't know what the fuck I did. So this game's just kind of even. It's
So
like, well, all right.
Skler even has a Mutalisk advantage at this point, and
Yeah, that rocks. don't know what the hell I did there.
don't know
Got
what's
supply
going
block probably. Actually, if you're ever like, what went wrong in this Packrat game? It's like got supply block.
on. Got supply block
Got supply
for
block
2 minutes in a ZVZ.
for 2 minutes in a 6-minute game.
This is the play here that I was wanting to see all last game. Is let's take some of those Mutalisks. Let's just fan out, kill the fuck out of these overlords.
Yeah.
Okay. Skler, this is looking pretty dicey for our main friend here, Cutie. But unfortunately, Skler decides to run away every single Mutalisk.
Well, that makes some sense.
Still
When you have
the Zerglings.
when you have smaller numbers of mutas, you can't really fight. Like you'll get overrun. But yes, losing all these Lings, this is dangerous. Although note, right, we do have the 2 sunks at home, so like you're a little bit insulated from the threat of Ling counterattack, but not completely insulated. It's 7 mutas versus 7 mutas, so this should just be even. Neither player has carapace done.
Can we note, though, that you have the mutas slightly better stacked, which means you are a superior person?
Nice. I
Not
do.
anymore. Actually, Skler is
No,
not a
yeah.
superior person.
Now my muta stack sucks.
How? This is just game over, right? We're for sure
Losing all these drones.
We're boned here, right?
Well, so the nice thing, like the dangerous thing about diving for your opponent's drones like this is that it puts your mutas in a position where they can be attacked. And so, yeah, this can happen where you're running away from mutalisks, but just taking a lot of shots.
Am I
And
crazy that Skler could have
sucks.
just fought you before losing 3 mutalisks to moving shots? Maybe
I
2
do not
mutalisks.
honestly know. I would have to have paid closer attention, which I did not do either in the game or in the replay. So there we are.
Okay.
But now it's 10 mutalisks to, I see 6, 7, a couple more on the way. No drones, but yeah, so now it's like the mutalisks together are a real upside, and the 2 lings that I had somewhere on the map are being annoying.
Question mark at the leaving the base after you've killed every single drone. Truly, all we have to do is just not die here, and we're in an incredible position. And Skler
Yeah.
says, let's leave the base with the mutas.
Yeah, I mean, the base race probably wasn't totally nuts. You know, it's gonna come in here and kill every drone I have, I think. So that's something. Did I get out with this drone? No. Okay, I was like, no, that drone survived. That would have been nuts. But I just have more mutalisks. I think it's 8 to 10, and that's pretty rough.
I have got to keep it real with everyone that's watching. I feel passionately that Skler threw this game like insanely hard. I really am mad about it, actually. Skler, you had my heart and you lost it. There was no reason. The 2 mutas were all the way over here for QD. We had nothing to worry about. We just killed all the drones. And then we're like, hey, you know what would get us out of this game? Is abandoning our drone line. And that's a GG. Shout out to Skler. Sorry for the sorry for the absolute roast at the end of the game there.
Yeah, let me rip on these.
Sorry to every tier
2.5 players in preseason.
Sorry to these tier 2 players. But I'm going to fucking shit on you. Alright, so we've gotten through the majority of the group. But in reality, the remaining player is a Terran. So we haven't even gotten a quarter of the way through the group.
I was gonna say, I think we're like maybe halfway through.
From a pure number of games perspective, we've made it through the majority of the group. Alright, top left here, we got my second favorite player in this group. It's Wizzer. Unfortunately, very addicted to the Corsair. We'll see if that comes to pass in this Protoss vs Terran game. Bottom right, we have Mick Terran.
So, tell me about PBT on this map, because I feel like my impression of PBT is like Terrans kind of hate the big maps like Vermeer, where Protoss can just like take 2 corners and then have like 12 bases and 50,000 gateways. And it doesn't seem like you can do that on this map.
Yeah, no, 2-player maps in general, because they're smaller, obviously, you just don't have the ability to make 17 bases and 3 gateway farms. But you can do a lot of abusive stuff on 2-player maps that kind of balances out the fact that your end game isn't quite as strong. And
Wasn't match point good for Protoss in this matchup?
you know, when match point was a map, I was not good ever.
By the way, if anyone with any say in the CPL map pool is in this chat, bring back match point. That map rocks. I love it. I would love to play on match point again.
Hold on, is match point the one that is like a benzene clone, or is match point the one with that's the ash tile set and it's got the high ground nat?
I mean, calling it a benzene clone is like insane to me because benzene is like the biggest map that I've ever played on, and match point is like one of the smallest. But
But they're both
it's
space
that same.
tile sets.
It's not. They're both space tile sets. So,
So
yes, it's a
I
benzene.
got that going.
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. So it's a 2-player map with the space tile set. So it's a benzene. like I'm like trying really hard. I'm like I cannot think of two-player maps that are less alike than benzene and match point. But sure.
But
Oh,
they're
yeah,
space
both
tile
space-
sets, though.
Yeah, like they're both space tile, and it's rotational symmetry instead of mirror symmetry. So it's not like Return of or Ride of Valkyrie. You know, CPL admins, if you bring back Ride of Valkyrie as a CPL app, I will legitimately donate $100 to the to the coffee. You have my word on that, chat. You can quote me on that. If Ride of Valkyrie is in the CPL map pool for CPL 11, I will donate $100.
I don't know if you
That
guys
map
saw
completely
my
sucks, and I would love
desperate
it.
clicking, but not only did Wizzer make a gateway, he also made a second gateway. And Packrat, you know what supply he made the second gateway on?
Well,
It was 15 supply,
15,
which
10,
makes
15
that
gates?
10, 15 gates.
10, 15 gates. Build order identification. If he had made the gateway on 12, that would be 10, 12 gates. Nice, okay. How do you
famously-
feel? Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say
famously-
famously the most dangerous build at D rank and below in this matchup.
Yes.
You make
Yes.
the Dragoon and you make a lot of it.
Yes, I was gonna say I feel like this is one of those builds where like someone goes in to Protoss help and they're like, I am new to game, like what do I do against Terran? And someone's like, you should go like 1 base 2 gate Robo, and then they're like, how do I do that? And it's like, I don't know, no one who is above B rank has done this since 2005, but you should do it.
No,
Shout
it's
out
classic.
to CPL coaches. By the way, CPL coaches, if you're in the chat, if anyone recommends 3-hatch lurker to another new player and then is like, but I wouldn't know how to do it because I never do, I'm going to become the Joker. Anyway,
Okay, so we don't have
How do you feel about
the
2
tanks just coming out. We don't have siege mode even on the way. I'm just gonna call it. McTerran is about to lose his bunker, and then McTerran is going to talk about the injustice that Terran faces being the
yeah,
hardest race.
you're predicting some injustice posting. I don't know. One of these Dragoons is made out of like rice paper right now, so I think like one of these SCVs can just run forward and kill that Dragoon.
Oh my god, McTerran is actually the greatest tier 2 player I've ever seen in my life. Wizzer, please, for the love of God, move your Dragoons out of range of the bunker.
Yeah, getting Dragoon range and then just tanking a lot of bunker shots was a real decision, and I respect it because that's what I do when I try to play BBT.
I don't know if any CPL admins are in the chat. For the love of God, give me Wizzer on my team. He's just to the level where I think I would actually have reasonable things to teach him. But not to the level yet where he'd be so good that I'm irrelevant, which is a fairly low level where you get good enough that I'm irrelevant, you know? So,
Also,
kinda
if any
balances.
CPL admins are in the chat, put me on the same team as Arcade, or I will embezzle $100 from the CPL donation pool.
also,
Not
if
sure
any
how,
CPL admins
but I
are in
will
the
figure
chat,
it out.
if any other CPL admins are in the chat, if you do not put us on a team that is willing to name us Girls Night Out,
Yes.
I will
Yes.
send a bomb to Escalade's house. and I mean that with no
In
sincerity.
Minecraft?
I mean that in Minecraft because I'm afraid that I'll get banned from Twitch if I say that. That was a joke.
We out here
About his
violating the Twitch terms of service.
Nobody clip that. Nobody clip that.
Nobody clip that, please. We had a lot of feedback for the CPL admins in this chat. What the fuck is happening in this game?
We got Wizzer actually kind of normalizing, to be honest with you. This is pretty good. Catching up some on the probes, taking a third base relatively quickly. Mick doing this thing as well, getting an academy.
Can't just go calling people Mick. That's our word. You gotta be careful about
redacted Terran. Nom redacted Terran here is getting their academy and also an armory. Which, if you know anything about me in this matchup, it's that academy armory sucks massive ding dong, in my opinion. Just build the eBay and don't give up the 4 SEVs that it takes to build a ComSat station. Which,
Yeah.
of course, means if you don't use the ComSat station, you will just die. Just make the NG Bay. Wizzer actually already way ahead in probes now. Finally manages to kill off that scouting SEV that I kept looking at and going like this to.
Nice. We
Huge
love killing
plays.
SCV.
It's
Yeah,
irrelevant at
the
this
pro
point.
production from Wizzer has been pretty good in all of his games, it feels like.
I genuinely, like, in the 3 games that I've seen from Wizzer or whatever, I think its fundamentals are really solid. It's just, excuse me, their fundamentals are really solid. It's just, we don't really have a great handle on what we should be building when, you know?
I'm gonna file that under strategery, but gotcha.
Yeah, no, strategery works. And we are gonna make the missile turrets in time for the missile turrets to not really affect anything.
This gateway layout, is there like a trick to gateway layouts, or do you just have to practice it? Because I've never practiced anything in my entire life.
There's a couple tricks, and let me tell you, these are not the good gateway layouts. This gateway
I was gonna say,
and this
I'm like,
gateway both
yeah, this Dragoon, this is not going anywhere.
Immediately trap every single Dragoon.
This Dragoon is not going anywhere.
I hope just to make it
Oh
feel
my
like
God.
it was worth it, that Wizzer waits like 2 production rounds so that this fills up with 4 Dragoons. And then 2 of the Dragoons from this one can pop out this way. Just so that at least we don't kill this gateway for nothing, you know? I
Yet
think
another
that is
reason
my
that
ideal.
Zerg is the only race I can play is because I just cannot handle the patience required to like make all this shit in my base.
Okay, so I'm just going to say it right now. Wizzer is 100% going to win this game.
Yeah, you feeling it?
Strictly based on the fact that he has 10 gateways and McTarren has 4 factories. I'm going to say Wizzer wins this game 100 times out of 100. And that is with losing 10 Dragoons for free.
Yeah, after losing every single Dragoon for nothing.
Mark it as the least guarantee that Wizzer will
Really,
carry the day.
Hazard's cursed the hell out of this guy from the replay. That's impressive.
I mean, what do we get? We're lifting off factories here. This guy's a joker. He's just playing around, being a little goofy little guy. We're up like 15 supply. We're taking a 4th base. Protoss, easy race.
Yeah, I'm glad someone pointed out the Trapped Goon, because that's all I've been able to look at for the past like 3 minutes. Oh, there's 3 of them now. They got a Dragoon party going on, just hanging out.
Yep. Okay.
They're on-
This is
they're on
exactly
break.
what I wanted. This is exactly.
These are Union goons, dude. They're not going anywhere.
These goons need to sit in here. We need to get at least 1 more production round out of this gateway. And then we can kill this gateway and be like, you know what? It did its job. It made some Dragoons.
So after after one more production round when this area is full, the next time it goes to make a Dragoon, does it pop out on the right side, or does it just say, I can't make this Dragoon? And like refund you? Because that happens at some point, right? Where it's just like, if there's nowhere for it to go.
It just refunds you, yeah.
It just refunds you the money, which I love that. Just like, I don't know, money back guarantee.
It does take, like, an insane amount. Like, this setup would never happen because you could always just go above the gateway or whatever. But
I've only seen it when you like literally surround one gateway with 9 other gateways, and then it's just like there's nowhere.
There's just nowhere you're going. Okay, Wizzer is up 20 supply, and still has 1,000, and is building one gateway or one pylon. Let's go. All right, Wizzer is gonna go for the bust here. There is absolutely no mines here, and there are very minimal vultures.
Do the Zealots have speed?
The Zealots do have speed.
The Zealots exist, and if so, do they have speed?
The important thing is that we don't send any of the Zealots in until the Dragoons are already dead.
Yes. That is...
Genuinely, though, this is the trap as a Protoss player, is to think... I have only recently overcome this. Okay, Wizzer just absolutely getting embarrassed here with how much scouting Mick just did. Because he saw a Templar Archives.
Idiot.
But yeah, unironic. I mean, we know that it's not going to be carriers or anything like that, so we can afford to just kind of sit back, let Wizzer throw away all his units for free. I really, really thought that there was a good chance we just won this game for free. But unfortunately, Wizzer, this is the greatest wall I've ever seen in my life. Imagine if there was one more pylon there.
You'd slice the map in half.
That would be so funny. Actually, pretty sick Vulture Micro here from McTarren. Picking off just so many probes, taking the lead. And it's essentially 3 base to 3 base.
And this tank line is formidable.
I don't know why I said that, because this isn't mining, but also this isn't mining. So technically, if we're being real about it, it's still technically 3 base to 2 base.
Well, but Wizzer's third isn't mining either, so it's really 2 base to 3 base.
But then if you think about it, the main is almost mined out on both sides. So really, it's more like 1.5 base to 1.5 base.
Love that.
We love that. Okay, Terran taking kind of an aggressive, fourth here, because Wizzer, despite losing a bunch of units, does still have a very healthy supply lead. Just has so much production, with these 10 gateways, and I don't know how this is happening. Mick has added on a bunch of factories, and has more SEVs and everything, and is still 40 supply down. I guess that's just what happens when you don't play Protoss, is that you have to really consider things like upgrades and all that dumb shit.
How much supply do Vultures take?
2 each.
They're 2, right? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I'm like, if Vultures were 1 supply, I need to like hop in my time machine and I don't know, do unspeakable things to David Kim's ancestors.
Wizzer, if this guy just picked a spot and attacked it like 3 times during this game, the game would be over by now. See, this is the first time he's really just picking a spot and attacking it. And it's going to go extremely well, I guarantee it. That's the least guarantee.
That's the least guarantee. I don't know. These Dragoons are blocking up these,
It's still going well. Look at it.
It's still going. You know what? You're so right. LeaSt for coach, everyone. If you want to be coached by LeaSt, you should request to be on Team Girls Night Out.
If you
want to
on the
beat up on me in
CPL
practice
app,
games,
wow, I was right the whole time.
You're so.
I was so
completely right.
good at the game that I saw 4 factories versus 10 gateways, and I said,
And you were
"Seems
like,
bad. Seems bad for Terran."
dude, you should do the analysis at ASL. I think that would.
Should do the analysis.
They should have you do the build order analysis. You're like, so what do you like about this build for the Protoss? You'd be like, well, out of all these gateways, I'm a fan. I like that.
it. I like it.
I like that. What I like from Terran, the factories mostly. You know. Do we have a starport? Okay, we got dragoons in the nat just being.
Okay, this is huge SEV pull though. I know
This
it's not
is a
going to save him
huge
the
SEV
game.
pull.
It's not going to save him the game, but that was so goated. How Wizzer was trying to run up the ramp and the SEVs completely blocked it.
That was honestly an incredible SCV pull. If this game was a little closer, that could be like one of those game-saving moves, you know, where Protoss goes to overextend. I think you're correct that it's not. It's just like not going to be enough, but I guess we'll see. Zealots make their way up the ramp, punching the tanks to death. Down to 26 SCVs. That is the downside of pulling the SCVs, is they tend to die. Which you hate to see. You hate to see that.
Can we just talk about me correctly predicting the outcome of this game for once?
I think you correctly predict the outcome of a game. Wizzer does need to make units. This is actually big LeaSt gameplay right here. Is when you're like, gosh, I'm like almost winning the game, and then it's like,
yeah, he just needs to like put a nexus down right here, and then
yeah, like put a nexus down, like queue up 5 probes at all your nexuses, and then like build out of your gateways.
I think
it's gonna be enough. I think it's gonna be enough anyway.
There's
like
just
Zealots
no
streaming in.
There's Zealots streaming in.
Yeah, Zealots streaming in. Like I don't think McTarran can hold on here. Having to lift your nat is like you hate to see that. Do you know that like a Zealot just like 1v1's a siege tank? Like if there's like a Zealot and a siege tank like out in the middle of nowhere to upgrade, Zealot wins. Just throwing that out there.
Did you know that if my
Did you know that never happens?
Did you know that if my dick went up my butt, I would be gay? Bang!
Is that the case?
Don't clip that. That was
Don't
also
clip that,
probably
yeah.
That was also probably
It's
against
also
the
a violation of the
terms
terms
of
of service.
Okay, this is,
Violating the Twitch terms of service left and right.
I can't remember what the actual saying is, where it's like if something happened then something, but it was like clearly.
I think
false.
it's if my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike.
Oh no! See, that's exactly what I was looking for. Like genuinely.
Yes.
McTarran.
If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike.
GG
And McTarran with the GG. It's interesting. Is capable of using the GG. Okay.
Yeah, TVP is hard. Truly.
Just noting. What matchups we got next? If I can do math, I think we got a lot of my favorite matchup left. I love TVZ. TVZ is so good.
Everybody's favorite matchup. Terran versus Zerg. On everybody's favorite map, the Benzene clone. Neo Dark Origin 2.0.
No, dude, this isn't a benzene clone. It's the wrong tile set.
This is an Overwatch clone.
This is an Overwatch.
Neo Dark Origin 2.0. If you think about it, though, it kind of is a benzene clone because it's got that N push path. So, ipso facto.
Ipso facto. Post hoc, Brocker hoc. All right, in the top left, in the black, I'm so bad at left and right. We have the Zerg player Tachometr, and in the bottom right, in the blue, we have our Terran hero, McTarran.
Packrat, I'm gonna make you a deal. I'm gonna make you a deal for the rest of this game, okay?
Okay.
You just say, in the color, we have the race blank name.
Oh.
And then I will just click on them. How's that sound? You don't even have to remember your lefts and rights. I got you.
Oh, yeah, yes, that will help.
Yeah,
yes.
no, for sure. Just don't even say
that would be good.
Don't even say the
I would
position.
appreciate that.
I got you.
I would appreciate that. So, Neo Dark Origin, I think that this map really sucks CPT. Because there's no third. I guess like there's like the corner third is like okay. This is like a lot of ZVT, if Terran's gonna play bio, comes down to can Zerg get a third base and a fourth base up? And that third base usually needs to be like a one choke base so that you can easily defend it with lurkers, right? You can like get lurkers to defend your nat, and also have like 3 lurkers up a ramp or something to defend your third until you get Dark Swarm if you're trying to play kind of like the standard style. And on 2-player maps with a small number of viable bases like this, that gets harder because it's like there's really only one base that fits those criteria, which means that if you try to do that, Terran knows where it is. Or you can take one of the other bases, but they're just like kind of impossible to defend with lurkers. Or you just like have to play someone. You can like, I don't know, you try to do like some kind of Hydra lurker thing that lets you fight in the open field a little better, but you're sort of limited. It's more difficult to do the standard style. I don't know how much that really matters at the level of CPL that I play, which is this. But it definitely feels like when I'm watching pro games, it's like just gets really hard on a map like this to consistently beat Terran. Make Terran gonna go for a wall at the natural. I think that was a normally timed barracks. Yeah, so gonna go for a wall, lifting the barracks to get the SCV home. Feels a little dangerous. Could there be lings out by now? No, there could be lings by now. No spawning pool. Well, I was like, that feels dangerous, but it's not.
And to be, yeah, we did see the 12 hatch. I wasn't sure that we saw the 12 hatch at first, but
yes. SCV's just hanging out, and it looks like McTerran's going to be going for a mech style, so going for the factory before throwing down a CC. And if you're playing Zerg and you want to know whether this is happening, usually the idea is you're going to have your Overlord hang out here in such a position that you can see the command center timing. And the command center timing is about 3:30. Then you know that Terran is going to be opening factory. If it's earlier, it's like 3-minute-ish CC, then you know that it's bio instead. So Tachometer should know. This Overlord needs to get a little closer, actually, I think. Also, the fact this barracks isn't flashing is a tell that it's mech. But there you go.
And you can click on the minerals. Sorry. You can click on the minerals, and it's not being mined from. You can see, obviously, 1,500 at this one.
That is true. Yes. Yeah, you can see it's not being mined from. That's a fact. Well, would the CC be done by now? I don't know that. I don't know that timing. I always go by I always go by when the CC goes down or whether the barracks is flashing. But SCV is going to get in here. It's going to scout this Hydra Den and a lair, which I feel like can only mean one thing. And it looks like Tachometer agrees because there's lurker aspect getting built. So looks like it's going to be a 2-hatch lurker. I don't know if Tachometer knew that this was mech or expected this to be mech. Looks like no, because there's no sunken colony here. Which means this Vulture has the real potential to just do terrible, terrible damage. Might stop to kill these lings in the open field instead. But, okay, so like we need a sunken right the fuck now. I guess you're gonna have Hydralisks, so you don't need a sunken right the fuck now, but there we go. Creep colony going down. But this is kind of awkward against mech, where like 2-hatch lurker is really designed to fight against bio because you have the opportunity to just like bust them lurkers or do a lot versus a lot of marines, and like against small numbers of marines they can take out bunkers and such, but they don't really do that much against mech units. You're not likely to just like kill them, and you kind of sacrificed your economy to get these early lurkers. The one big upside is that when Terran goes mech, they usually don't get their academy for quite a while, so they're not going to have scans which means that you can sort of just like soft contain them by having lurkers out on the map, like especially by these like bridges and stuff, or just right outside their base. You make it so that they can't leave, but you can't really threaten a kill. So I think Tachometr should just like expand here and make a lot of drones. Looks like he's gonna go for Queen's Nest, I assume, to go for like a fast Defiler bound and try to just like bust with Dark Swarm, which again is like usually more of a play that you're going to want to do against Bio. The big problem trying to do this against Mech is that Mech can build mines, and they can just put down mines, and those will work under Dark Swarm. So you don't have the ability... Like, you can do this against Bio, where, like, you just rush Defiler behind your 2-hatch Lurker, and then, like, if the initial bust doesn't kill them, then you just, like, get the world's fastest Defiler, walk over there, and, like, Dark Swarm their Nat and win. Because they just can't do anything. Like, maybe they can build Fire Bats, but under Dark Swarm, the Fire Bats aren't doing, like, anything. But Mines are really good. And tanks actually do their splash damage in Dark Swarm, too, so it's, like, it's harder to just, like, run up and kill them. So I don't think this is going to work the way Tachometr wants it to. And once again, like, your economy, you're really gimping your economy to this. He's got 23 drones, which is, like... That's not a lot. 23 drones. We have no third hatchery anywhere. Like not even a third hatchery in base, which means we're very larva constrained. Like the rate at which our economy can grow is slow. Got a third hatchery finishing up with the net, but it's like not even done yet. Terran, meanwhile, finally getting the comsats, getting that gas to the natural. Does look like is also decently economically constrained. Like only 30 SCVs. A lot of the times, like, if you're playing a macro game against mech, it frequently comes down to, like, a battle of economies, in a way, right? Like, Zerg is trying to get, like, abuse... It's almost like playing against Protoss. Like, you try to abuse these, like, droning windows to, like, get a big enough economy that even though their army is scary, at some point, it can just never fight you. Like, it can fight efficiently, but... you just grow at a rate where, like, at some point, it's like, well, yeah, you can kill as many Hydras as you want, but I can make as many Hydras as I want, and you'll never die. So, like, the fact that Terran is a little behind on the SC production, like, does kind of matter here, because, you know, your goal is often to, like, get a big push going, or get really early upgrades. It doesn't look like either of those are on the way. But Zerg also being quite constrained. It's kind of just like a weird low eco game for everybody. I'm curious. I'm like, there should be a Defiler on the way. And Consume? Do we have Consume researched?
We
No,
just
okay,
started
research and Consume. There we go. I'm like, yeah. The whole point's... Any Doctor Strangelove fans? I'm like, you know, the whole point of the Defiler is lost if you don't research Consume. Why didn't you research it earlier, eh? And yeah, kind of already seeing the problems here. Like, Zerg can't really get within range of this army. Like, these tanks are just gonna blow up the lurkers before they can do anything. And even if the lurkers get all the way up on top, like, these tanks aren't that scared of the lurkers. Lurkers are really, really scary to Marines because they just, like, melt. But... you know, I mean, they do damage to tanks, but it's not just like, oh my god, like one lurker volley and it's over. And yeah, if the tanks get a volley off, it's like, it is kind of over. Did get Overlord speed, love that. I think that's very necessary if you're going to play, like, Hydras against mech, because you need to be able to... It's necessary to play against mech at all, because you need to be able to deal with the mines. Consume is done. I think we're about to discover why this doesn't work. Yeah. Right, like...
Yeah,
that's...
still...
that's kind of why you can't do this against mech. Like... You try to run under the Dark Storm, and then you just get blown to hell by some spider mines in the tanks. So, gonna go in for round 2. Like, again, you do have the option of, like, Terran can't really push into you very easily. You know, it is annoying to try to, like, get on top of the lurkers if they're already burrowed, but you do not have the ability to like dive onto the Terran the same way you do when you're playing against Bio. And it looks like Tachometr is having a little bit of trouble kind of like macroing all of this as well. You know, defilers are hard. Defilers are hard to play with. They like require a lot of babysitting and APM, and the macro is kind of taking a toll. Like, haven't been able to get this third base down. There's like vultures guarding every base, just like struggling to kind of grow behind this, and this is it's pretty all in, and it's becoming clear it's not going to do what it needs to do. But don't worry, it's never too late to transition. Don't let anyone ever tell you that it's too late to transition. It's never too late.
Can
It's very
we
important to know.
get our lings on top of the... My
I
one
think
thought
probably
as a
not.
Protoss player, my one thought
Yeah,
as a
can you get
Protoss
your
player
legs onto these tanks?
is, yeah, the tanks kill themselves if you just get units on top of the tanks.
It won't. Darkswarm won't do it because the tanks do too much splash damage on a Darkswarm.
Right.
They just explode the lings. You could research drop. That would be sick as fuck. I think.
That'd be
I
incredibly funny.
don't
if you
think
got
he's going to do it, but yeah, you could like Protoss does
Zergling
with Zealot
bomb?
bombs, but like
Exactly.
ling bomb them. Yeah, that would be pretty fucking cool. He is gonna mute a switch, so this is one of the cool things you can do to like abuse what Zerg is good at, which is like tech switches. Usually when Terran's going mech, they either want to be building like lots of tank vulture against Hydras, or lots of Goliaths and just like a small bit of tanks to bust Sunkens against Mutas. So as Zerg, you're often like just kind of switching back and forth between those two. And so yeah, now Terran's like has no Goliaths, has to shift to production to Goliaths right away. There is a science vessel already, which makes it hard to do this. Because that science vessel's got to radiate. That can be really annoying. Although you don't have to clump the mutas like you do have to against Bio. Actually, this muta's doing quite a lot. The Goliaths have to get out and clean this up. There's a bunker with some Marines in it, which is pretty annoying. Might just be too little too late from the Zerg, but I do love this idea here.
Especially if we were able to take out this third before we had lost all the...
Yes.
Before we had lost all the mutas, that might have given us a chance to get back in the game. I
Yeah.
do agree. I think we're not really targeting very well on the dangerous units. And
Yeah.
it's probably too little too late.
Definitely the right idea, and like one of the ways this can work is kind of how this is playing out. It's like, well, okay, worst, quote unquote, worst case scenario, if all you do with the mutas is kill all the tanks, then you can just switch back into Hydralisks, right? Because like now your opponent has to make Goliaths to clear out the mutas and can't make tanks. So you know you can kind of like switch back and forth between these to annoy the Terran, but yeah, I think, like I said, that you know this often comes down to just like economies, right? Of like who is scaling, and Tachometr just like does not have the drones and hatcheries behind this to support these kinds of big tech switches. Like if this was 4 base 9-10 hatcheries, then these tech switch, you know, you can just instantly switch these and have it be kind of backbreaking. But with 2 base and 3 hatcheries, it's difficult to just like have enough to challenge. At some point, Terran's is going to get a big ball that you can't really do much against. And yeah, Terran's saturating a 3rd base now. And it looks like Tachometr's had enough. Can't get that 3rd base down ever.
GG. Wow.
Mechanical units.
That was an incredible saying the word GG timing to both of us.
BG.
G.
Sometimes the G is G.
BG and WP. Just make tank.
Sometimes it's what it takes, you know? Sometimes it's what it takes. You just make tank.
So
I am unable to join game. Wait,
let's
wait.
rehost.
Wait. Oh.
No, I
oh,
left
no.
the game. So
Oh,
that happens
God.
with arcade sometimes.
Okay. Wow, arcade playing games without me?
Yeah, disrespectful. Try now.
I don't like that. Downloading. All right, we're in. Like, my internet sucks. That's okay, because it's a replay, but... Do you host on dynamic turn or do you pick a turn rate? This is
I
important.
host on dynamic because I trust Blizzard to do the right thing for the game of Starcraft.
Alright. In the orange, for the Terran, we have Mick Terran. And in the magenta, representing the Zarg, we have Skler.
I'm not trying to hype up anybody too much. Based on what I've seen from both players so far in this group, this is the most excited I am for a match. Other than, of course, the dumbest shit that we've ever seen that we all know is coming. The word is spread, and anyone that is still sticking around at 9 p.m. Pacific time or midnight on the East Coast, I assume we're all here for the same thing. But this should be a genuinely good game. Both players seem like they have a pretty good hold on the fundamentals of their matchups and macroing, etc.
Yeah, I think Skler might be the best player in this group.
And you beat them. So ipso facto, no spoilers to anyone that's just joining us. But Packrat did beat.
No spoilers for the games we already cast. I did beat Skler, but I think our consensus was that Skler could have and perhaps even should have won that game.
Skler should have won the game. No hate. Skler should have won the game.
No hate. Skler maybe should have won that game. It was a weird scenario.
We're going one base wall this time. This is interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
McTerran said...
McTerran's like, you know what? I just do not like to die to Zerglings. And so therefore, just gonna wall. Walled last time, walling this time.
The Zargling is broken. As they say.
Is
As a Protoss player, I can say this.
Yeah.
This is my battle to fight, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna say something more offensive there, but I wasn't going to.
When are Protoss players gonna just adopt this mindset of like, you just full wall, like just build it, just completely wall yourself in and put a cannon behind it and be like,
the thing is, the buildings all suck so much for Protoss that I don't think there's a good way to full wall.
That's so true, bestie, honestly.
That is so true, bestie.
the Protoss buildings do suck, dude.
They call me the truth teller because all I do is spit facts.
Like Terran buildings have all these, nice interactions where it's like, oh, if you put these this way, like, like a Marine, like this way is a full wall, then this way is like, a Marine can just slide right in there, but a Zealot can't. And then Protoss is like, if you think you have a tight wall that involves a forge, you don't.
That's so
It's
true.
like if you've got a wall and it includes the forge, and you're like, yeah, that looks good. Nope.
Just everything she says is just pure unadulterated fact.
A fucking ultralist can walk through there. That's
You absolute fool. You thought you had a full wall? That's crazy. Crazy business. Okay, so we've got some links here. Full wall. Skler probably correctly decides to start making drones instead.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be pretty goofy to continue making Zerglings at this point.
I certainly think so. And it looks like McTerran's gonna try to go for a similar build to before. His command center is up on the high ground, so like this happened last game too. And in the last game, McTerran's economy was a little like constrained. Like the SCV count was actually fairly low, and in this game with this CC being on the high ground and like slightly late, I am concerned again about the economy, because one of the ways, like the big problem for Terran is like, can you get your like push death ball on before Zerg just gets like 65 drones? Because once Zerg gets like 65 drones in 4 bases, it is really, really hard to ever kill them. Like, you can just walk around the map and kill bases all day, but they'll just make more because they're richer than Crassus. That one's for you, Arcade, if you're in the chat. I know you're not, but if you're watching this VOD later, that reference was for you. Okay, Zergs all day, not building creep colonies.
And
I
actually,
do not approve of this.
some sick vulture micro from Terran here. Like, I
It
know that's
was
how
mad
it's
decent.
supposed to be. That's
No,
how
no,
you're supposed to micro them,
actually,
but yeah, it's super good.
it's actually kind of hard to micro vultures against speedlings. Yeah, it's harder than it looks. But Zergs, CPL Zergs, you don't see a CC on the low ground by like 315. Just build that sunk. Like you do not have any idea what Terran's doing up here. They could be doing absolutely anything. There's so many deranged things they could be doing. You should just build that sunk colony. Really, like it's not that you build the sunk if you don't see the command center. It's more that like if you see the early command center, you don't need the sunk, right? Like that's like the greedy play is like build no sunk because you saw the taking an early command center. If you see anything else, just build that one sunken colony because you're gonna die to some horse shit otherwise. One base Terran, like no one does. I wish more Terrans did one base Terran against her is so much like fun. I love watching it. I love playing both sides of it. It's like cool and clowny, and there's so many options and they're deranged. But we're not getting that. Mick Terran is not one basing with the intent of killing his opponent with something deranged. He's just one basing out of conservatism. But yeah, so Zerg okay, so Skler like already kind of, if we look at this game versus the game we watched last time, like Skler already taking this third hatchery on a location that has gas, getting these mutas out. Looks like Terran, I'm not certain how Terran knows the mutas are coming. Didn't scan, might have just got the SCV scouting, wasn't paying good enough attention. But these mutas are going to force Terran to build Goliaths, and then can clear out the vultures if they're already on the map still. Use that to take a third, get some gas, and yeah, just behind this, like get your tech up, get drones. It's very important to get drones. I do not like getting lurker aspect this early. I think that's incorrect. I don't really like getting lurker aspect against mech at all,
for sure.
Kind of, yeah. Like you can mix it up with lurkers sometimes. Like if you know they go mech, you can kind of abuse the fact that they don't have academy early with lurkers. But like otherwise, they just do not play the same role that they do against bio. Like against bio, lurkers are like, I have these and I'm safe now. Like that's not how it works against mech. They can kill those. And they don't take nearly the same crazy damage against them. So, yeah, I think that this is not the right choice. It basically looks like Skler is playing this as if it was against bio, right? Like, make your initial mutaflock, get your lurker aspect, get your third base, but like just kind of slowly drone it up. Get a Queen's Nest. You don't need a Queen's Nest this early. Yeah,
It
again,
definitely seems like
CPL
Zerg.
I think this is something that CPL Zerg coaches need to hammer on more, because I feel like I see it every time I cast. Is like, you need to treat Mech Terran like it's something completely different, because it is. You whatever your game plan is against bio, like you should not, unless we're like year 3 totally new to the game and we're just like all we're doing is making units and we don't care. Like if you're beyond that level, you need to have a different game plan against mech Terran, because it's totally different. You gotta learn how to recognize the Terran's going mech and then do something else, because just playing against it like it is like you would play against Bio Terran, you're gonna get rolled because you have no economy. And against Bio, you're just going for like the world's fastest tech in an attempt to try to stay alive. Because if you get all your tech, then you can like win, because the bio units are not actually that good, except for the fucking science puzzle. But that's not the case against mech. Against mech, like you gotta get your drones, gotta get your upgrades, gotta get all your stuff, mini hatcheries, and we don't have this. And like right now, like, you're just so vulnerable to a push, like just like a big push. If we build comsats, a big push is deadly. We got like 6 mutas. These mutas cannot fight these Goliaths, and like one tank means that your lurkers are donezo. But Mictarion, comfortable, not in a hurry to push. It seems just gonna make a whole lot of stuff. Zerg getting Carapace, getting the Hive, getting some more lurkers, drones. I'd love to see a 4th base. Don't know if we're gonna see a 4th base just yet. Love to see drones though. Drones are good. I'd love to see just like 2 hatcheries right the fuck now. Sort of gonna scan the main, or Mexican Terran's gonna scan the main. What's up?
We know what we do against Bio now, and we know we've got to do something completely different against Mech Terran.
Yep.
What do we do against Mictarion?
Mictarion? I have ideas. I have concepts of a plan that we can see in the next game. Against in this game, so like I don't know if you're in this game as Skler, I'm like I think you gotta make hatcheries. You just need to make like 3 hatcheries. You need to make a bunch of hatcheries and hope that maybe the Terran will stay on his side of the map for long enough that you can just like get a big fat army.
Looks like we are taking that 4th, as you pointed out. Was a good idea. And yeah, just the crucial thing that is basic when you think about it as far as Zerg goes, but it really is coming into effect here. We never had any macro hatcheries, and although Skler did a decent job spending all their money, it's still, you're just not able to scale effectively, as you pointed out earlier. You're not able to really exponentially grow like Zerg is so good at.
Yeah, because the problem is that, like, these lurkers, right, like, if you're against Bio, it's like, there's no amount of Bio is crossing a bridge that has 3 lurkers over it. Like, that will just never happen. Like, 200 supply of Marines will die. But, so, like, ideally you're like, at this point you're thinking, okay, I'm reasonably safe, like I got lurkers covering all the entrances to bases. This 4th base is not super safe, but I don't need this 4th base. This is actually pretty early 4th base, so it's like fine. And like, I'm getting defilers, I'm getting consume, like I'm gonna be safe against this, but like, you're just not safe against this kind of army. Like, these tanks can just come up and bonk your lurkers from far away, and there's kind of nothing you can do about it. And Darkswarm, as we saw in the last game, it's like Darkswarm won't really do that much. So they just like have 5-6 tanks. Like, Darkswarm doesn't save you. These mutas are completely toast.
Rip those Mutalisks.
Rip those Mutalisks. Terran's at 1-1. Terran doesn't have 2-2 on the way, unless I missed it, which is kind of, I'm like, that's... If you're gonna play this feels like kind of a combination of like, if you're gonna play just like the go get 'em push, then often you want to push like now with 1-1 and just like try to end the game. If you're going to play like for the long game, like Theseus is asleep right now, I hope, but Theseus loves these kinds of games. If you're gonna play like just like long game Mech Terran, then you should get a science facility earlier and just like go for your upgrades. You really want to get the upgrades as fast as you can. It really does play just a lot more like playing first Protoss for both sides.
Yeah, it just seems like this, if I was a Terran, this would be the kind of game that I would want to play, because that's the kind of game you play in the other 2 matchups. Okay, huge... 2 lurkers here, like you pointed out, are just not going to do the damage.
Yeah, like this is the problem, right? It's like, well, okay, these 2 lurkers, like, they don't really protect you from all these vultures.
Yeah, and as far as vultures go, or as far as mech goes, vultures are really flimsy, and it still took like 8 volleys to kill most of them.
Yeah. So it's like, but yeah, I think this is one of the reasons that a lot of parents this level like mech, is that if you play Bio, then one of your 3 matchups is really unlike the other 2. And you kind of have the choice, right? Like, if you're playing Terran, you get to decide whether it's going to be a mech game or a Bio game. Zerg can't really like force you to do one or the other very easily. So you can just decide that you want to play mech in this matchup too, and then like all your matchups have similar fundamentals, like your base layout and your like army control and stuff kind of work very similarly. Oh my god, mines, yeah, right. Like this is this is why this just does not work. But the downside is that like it's kind of abusable. Like Zergs, good Zergs, high-level Zergs have gotten very good at abusing this playstyle. Like the way to beat it is like out there, and if you're playing like A-rank Zergs and they know that this is the only thing you're doing, it gets really tough. Like not saying you can't win with mech and A-rank or something, because like obviously you can watch ASL games people win with mech, but just like if that's the only thing you know how to do,
It gets
and you're
tougher and
playing at
tougher
that
to
level,
win.
yeah, it's like it's harder and harder, because sort of like you're not going to win games at that level by just having better macro, right? Like that's kind of what you can do at the CPL level with this kind of playstyle. Is like, well, like just gonna make my workers, like make my upgrades, have good macro, do my thing, and like I'll just win the long game and like play better fundamentals. Like that's, and like that will fly obviously in tier 2. That will not fly at the top of tier 0, right? Like you'll have to. The Zergs will be able to macro there too, and then you're kind of in trouble.
Okay, we've got Ultralisks coming. Ultralisks also suffer a lot against mines, right? So it's really you just either want to be going Hydralisks or you want to be going Mass Muta, is my understanding.
So they kind of have like two options. You can either like switch between Hydras and Mutas to put pressure on the Terran of like you can't really build Goliaths and tanks, or if you want to play for like the super late game, or you just like that playstyle more, you can go for Queens and Hydralisks, where you get a bunch of Queens and you just like brutally all the tanks, and that playstyle is very hard for mech to like beat in the long game. But yeah, see again, like Darkswarm is not invincibility against a large number of tanks. Like it's just not, because they still do the splash damage. So like yeah, these lanes will just get annihilated.
And as someone that doesn't play this matchup, I felt like that was an okay trade, but also Ultralisks are just so expensive that it kind of wasn't an okay trade, It's like, I don't know, in my stupid Protoss brain, all I can think about is matchups that I play. So
well, the thing is, like, when you're playing against Bio and you're in this spot, you have like probably better economy and tech than they do, right? So like the Ultralisk is like, it's like the knockout punch, right? Of like, okay, like I've got the Defilers, I've like got my upgrades, I've got my 4 gas, and like now I'm gonna make Ultralisks, and this is gonna be the thing that's just like too much for you to deal with, right? Because I've finally gotten my like tier 4 tech, which means I can fight the Marine. But yeah, again, it's like that just this kind of army doesn't let you do that in the same way. Because the tanks will just chew through all the ultras. You really need to like, yeah, you want to go for Queens or just like out economy them. Play like a Protoss, take the whole map, mine everything out, and it's like whittle them down.
Yeah, and
counterattack. You can make a lot of use of counterattacks, right? Because again, much like against the Protoss, their army doesn't move all that fast. So like, Mutas can backstab, Hydras can backstab. Lots of potential drops. You can drop their base like a bunch of cracklings.
Yeah, very nice play there from McTerran.
Yes.
McTerran, don't know, killed all the drones. Sorry if I'm putting the emphasis on the wrong syllables, but yeah, a bunch of vultures come in, kill all the drones. Always the problem of larva with Zerg, and if you kill a drone, that's less army that you get to make.
Yeah, I guess I've assumed it was McTerran, not like McTerran, like the McChicken. But now I kind of want to say, I'm like,
I
kind of wish it was the McChicken though.
For me, it is the McTerran, the greatest of all the Starcraft races. Oh my god. Yeah, this is exactly how I feel when a vulture is taking down my Nexus.
Yeah.
I know if I could just get my units there, I could stop this nonsense. But unfortunately, every time I run my units across the map, they just die to mines.
Yeah. That's facts. You gotta get Hydras. Like, if you get some speed Hydras and an Overlord, I mean, it's like playing Protoss, right? Like, you gotta get your range units with your Observer and then walk them forward and clear out all the mines slowly. There's some mines just like hanging out over here by the third that have not been touched all game, and I'm just like, I'm waiting for that to happen. I got one eye on that on the minimap.
And these Zerglings are extremely close to those mines.
Yes, yeah.
That's... So it looks like it's going to be a split map scenario. Mick is going for a 5th base here. Obviously can kill that mine at will with the SEV. Unfortunately, mines are not invisible to the player that planted them.
If mines were invisible to the Terran, that would be incredible.
That would be so much more fair and balanced, in my opinion.
That would be so much... You know, you're so right.
So right.
I'm gonna send that to Blizzard along with my suggestion that the scout should be given the scout should be an observer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it has scout right in the name.
A detector. Yeah, it should be the scout should be a detector.
Did you see that? The mine that you were talking about finally came into play and killed like 10 Zerglings.
Like a billion wings.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is so tough. Skler, to their credit, has been playing like very solid. If it was bio, this would just be like a really scary game. Yeah, the macro is great.
This macro is great, but it's just the wrong army
it's not
for what Terran is doing and can't fight. Because yeah, like look at that, right? It's like good macro, like even got a decent surround, and we're just like we're down 70 supply because this army is way too efficient at fighting that way. And now losing the 4th, like yeah, this is putting the nails in the coffin. I think yeah, the takeaway for Skler is like gotta do something different against Mac. Can't play against Mac like it's bio because
the
army will just womp yours.
Mech Terran extremely good at trading efficiently, to the surprise of no one. And genuinely, like, this whole group shows a lot of promise. I genuinely am not just trying to gas people up.
I'm not sure if that Packrat player is going anywhere. I think she's gonna be like perma stuck 1400 probably. I hear that I'm guessing that she will still be YMMR after X amount of time.
That is so true, Queen.
But yes, everyone else in this group shows real promise.
Skler has great macro and just doesn't, like, the only big weakness doesn't really understand the difference between bio and Mech Terran, but other than that, like, this was a great build against bio.
Yeah, and I think for both Skler and Wizzer, a bit like a recurring note is like, with some more awareness of what different strategic options are, these games could have gone a lot different.
Yeah, and this is one of the tier 2 groups. I feel like there's 2 different kind of tier 2 groups. You know what I'm saying? There's I'm theoretically 1700 tier 2 groups. Where they pretty much know what's going on, and then they have Mr. Wizard style fingers where they play at less than 100 MMR all the time. Or it's these groups where it's like, oh, they're doing what they need to do. They have the macro and they have the... Oh, is that Lurker gonna live? No, it's not gonna live. Okay, shit.
Absolutely not.
But yeah, they just get a little bit more game knowledge, and this whole group seems like they would be extremely scary, to be honest.
Yes, as Wizzer pointed out, it's either no hands or no brain, or, in my case, both.
Both. You never know.
The rare and dangerous combination of no hands and no brain.
And McTerran, the superior of all the Starcraft races, is
Yeah.
going and A moving. Hitting the
Yep,
big
here
jip
comes
A move.
here comes the bonkening.
And I saw...
GG.
I'm going to admit something to everyone here. When I was putting on the replay, I saw the time, and I saw that it was going to be a 25-minute game. And I kind of got a little sad in my head. I was like, man, I don't know if I have a 25-minute game in me of Tier 2. That was pretty incredible. That was pretty good, though. That was good.
That was pretty good.
No one look at that shit, though.
But this is the moment that I think we've all been waiting for. Which is described by one CPL player as the dumbest shit I ever seen. And I think this is what this group is all about.
This is truly the reason this group is being casted.
All right, in the blue, our villain, McTarren, and in the pink, our hero, playing for Zergs everywhere, CPL Cutie.
I just gotta say, at the beginning of this series, I saw Wizzer just kind of gateway man McTarren here, and then I saw Tachometer go for 2 hatch lurker, and before, in that one glorious moment where I thought that McTarren might just get all in 2 games in a row, I was like, wow, this guy just absolutely got cheesed every single game in this group. And that's why there was so much vitriol.
Spoilers.
But unfortunately, the 2 hatch lurker was not cheese. And then the third game, the game against Skler, was like very macro oriented. So my theory was incorrect.
All
You know what? I just realized something. This is extremely dumb that I just now realized it. But he can't make the wall in the nat over here, because then the Marine pops out on the bottom, right? So like that's the whole. Wow, Terran takes a level of subtlety that I can only aspire to.
So this is
I would've just made
Overpool from the Zerg.
Oh shit!
It's a nice little mix-up. You get to hedge against 8 racks. I didn't take the time to scout my opponents this week, so I wasn't sure if anyone was going to 8 racks, and I'm like, I'll just overpool, then I'll not die to 8 racks. If you're dying a lot to 8 racks, I really recommend overpool.
Well, let me tell you something about 8 racks.
Listen,
Sucks
okay?
against overpool.
Listen, fucking, if you watch a good Zerg go 12 hatch against 8 racks, they make that drone micro look so fucking easy, and then you try to do it, and you're like, where did all my drones go? Why is there all this red goo? What the fuck? So, you know, just consider, like, just mixing in some overpool once in a while to keep the Terran honest. Because, it's worse economy, but it's a lot easier to hold 8 racks. Like, way easier. Okay, so Zerg, we got one hatchery down at the natural. We got 1 hatchery in the main. This is 3 hatch play. You can tell that because there's 3 hatcheries.
For those that are a little confused,
if there were only 2 hatcheries, it'd be 2 hatch play.
For those that are a little confused, she neglected to mention that she did start the hatchery with a game, or with the start of the game. You do get 1 hatchery.
You get one for free.
So we were really just talking about the 2 hatcheries that had to spawn.
Yeah, this is build identification. This wall is lane tight, so can't do anything with this overpool, and we can see that the barracks is not flashing, which is a tell that it is probably going to be some kind of mech and not like a 2 racks or something behind it. Good to know if you're the kind of Zerg that's gonna make a bunch of fucking lings early in the game and pin your opponent in their base, and you want to know what they're doing behind it. yeah, if the barracks isn't flashing, it's probably some kind of attack. If the barracks is flashing, it might be like a 2 racks or a 3 racks like sunk bust bullshit. So at this point, we're like, okay, we see submarines but no barracks flashing, so no, it's probably mech.
Right, and we do see that wall, and we're making a bunch of drones, which is the smart thing to do. You know, what's this? It's Zergling speed.
Well, actually, we're not making a bunch of anything right now because we're supply blocked as fuck. But once the supply block is cleared by this overlord that's like a minute and a half late, then
sick block by that Zergling right there.
Then we make a bunch of Zerglings. Yeah, so we have Zerglings in production right now, and then this Vulture's out on the map, and it's making me pretty sad because I have like 20 Zerglings in production, and they are all dying to this one Vulture. It's not great. You don't want the Zerg. However, I do need to point out. Can we pause? Can we pause real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to look at the production tab, okay? Can't build anything if you're microing the Vulture. You can't build any stuff if you're busy microing the Vulture. So we can unpause now, but just just like Carlton meme like brain here, okay? Speed is gonna finish, which means it is go time for the world's worst Zergling rush. And luckily managed to kill that Vulture before it sees like the other 50 Zerglings. And then, Starcraft is a game that has moments.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go. Starcraft is a game that has moments.
No, I feel like I need to let you finish.
Very valuable moments, and I just need to point out that one of them is about to happen. Okay, this is the kind of moment that changes your tournament, that changes your life sometimes. It changes everything.
Okay, let's go.
Because this wall is ling tight until this barracks gets lifted, and then it is not ling tight. It stops being ling tight if you lift the racks.
The lings were there, and then he lifted it. He saw
being
the
link tight
lings
if you
coming.
lift the racks.
Oh no!
And then the Zergling arrives.
It's even dumber than I could have imagined. Oh no! You saw speed vultures and a wall.
Yeah.
And you went for a Zergling all in?
I did. So I have a sticky note that sits above the laptop that I play StarCraft on that says "Stick to the plan," and the plan was to go Ling all in, and so I was not about to be dissuaded. And I was rewarded for my faith. Anyway, yeah. So once you let the Lings in,
this is a lot of Zerglings. To be honest with you, that's a lot of Zerglings.
It's pretty rough. Yeah, you don't want to let all the Zerglings in.
No, that's not good usually when you let all the Zerglings in.
But it's okay because Zerglings can't hit buildings that are flying.
Huge.
Yeah, and so we can just lift off. And we can lift these buildings and prevent the Zerglings from hitting them. Do have a Spire going down. We only have one SCV left, which is going to make it pretty hard to execute a comeback.
Mm-hmm. We still theoretically could finish this if you stopped attacking the armory. We could finish this.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, we lost our last SCV though, which is pretty rough. And then I do want to note that in all the other games that Mick Terran played, including ones that were played on top versus bottom, did get a GG.
Okay.
You never know when you're hosting on top versus bottom. You do have to hit Shift Enter to all chat because by default you just get the allied chat. So maybe he was trying to GG and just forgot to send it to all chat.
Rice hat with the. I just want to give a quick shout out to Rice Hat in the chat. Why did we lift all caps?
Why did we lift?
Why?
Yes,
the question we're all asking ourselves. And That was an extremely fun game to watch, and we, as a perennial tilter,
McTaren's a true gentleman. You know, saw the links coming and was like, right this way.
as a perennial tilter, I want to give some grace to McTaren because I've seen him a couple times at the lands, and he seems like a cool guy. However, that was the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. So
that was the dumbest shit.
That
That,
was the
the
dumbest
dumbest
shit
shit I ever seen.
that was
That
a
was
fun
the-
group. That was a fun group. For
Yeah.
those that are keeping track, Packrat did 4-0. Wizzer, if you're back on horse emoji, I see you in the chat. If you're back on horse emoji this year, we need to have some one-on-one time. And I mean that in like a not weird way.
What was dumb? The Masslings, the Raxlift, or both? I'm gonna go with both.
I'm gonna go with specifically the Masslings, because like you saw that there was speed vultures and a wall, so like it was extremely dumb to go ling all in, you know. But however,
Yeah, it might even have been
the dumbest shit I ever seen.
However, in this case, it's like it was so dumb, right? This is like how Artosis loses to C rank Protoss, right? Like it's so stupid, such a bad idea that they didn't think about whether or not to lift the barracks, and then lifted the barracks. It's genius.
It's genius. All right, I appreciate you all for tuning in.
If
That
I was
is
a better
gonna be-
player, I would have gone 0-4 in this group. Thank you for.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna
Thanks for tuning
end
in.
this stream before Packrat takes any more side swipes. It's been 100% the best stream of my life, and I say that with only a little bit of exaggeration. Have a good one.